Everybody, and welcome to the last final round of the Touring Car Sim Racing League. I'm your commentator, that's me, Andy Pawley. I will be here for the duration of tonight's proceedings. We are at the Silverstone International Circuit. We actually ran this circuit back out in week four, and it all went wrong. So we're back out. We're going to try again. We've got some new people joining as well. There should be about 21 drivers in this evening, which should be exciting. The Pro-Am categories have already been decided. So Gregor in the Honda is the victory. And there is Opelic. You Opelic fans, which we have over the past of the season, is the amateur season professional as well for season 6. But do not worry, it is all to play for tonight. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be thrilling. I love Silverstone. It's one of my favourite tracks next to Brands Hatch. Absolutely love Brands Hatch. The driving is going to be phenomenal. So we have about 8 or 9 minutes until we hit the qualifying session. Once we get to qualifying, that will determine the position for race 1. That is a 15-minute race. Race 2 is the starting positions of the starting positions are because of the finishing positions of race 1. So if you finished first in race 1, you start on pole in race 2. Race 3, reverse grid, depends on the grid size. At the moment, there's only 16 drivers in. I'm expecting that to go up to around 20. Just finding out. and we should get a bit more tastier as the evening goes on. There's 16 drivers in the minute. It's on auto feed as it stands. George Prieto, who's down in 16th, there he is, was actually did take the honours of pole position last time we were here before the game completely crumbled itself. So will George do it again? Will he be able to get himself onto pole position? At the moment, Jean-Petre is fastest on a 107.111. We actually got into the 106s last time we were here. So there's still time to be had. So we'll keep an eye on that. Right, let's have a quick look over to the chats. I can see, again, quite a few of in the background lurking, so come and say hi. Job is saying, still can't see this one where thought I'd be strong. I'm currently watching this from my bed. I hope you're all right. I hope nothing's not gone too wrong there, Jobber, but we will see. Jobber was running the Honda, if I remember correctly. So you Honda fans out there, we're missing another Honda, but we will see. So 16 at the moment, like I said, we're up to 20. It's always the end of the season. You always get like this. It's been a long, long season, so that's going to be exciting to see. George hasn't really set time on the board, hasn't really set anything alight. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can actually do from that position. Rob South from Kitty Litter Racing is going a bit faster, but again, it's going to get very, very tasty. Right, let's load up the split times. Let's go for that one. Still loading up all the software. It works itself again. There's Opajin. Nice to see you again. Let's go, Hector. Yeah, he's out supporting the for you team drivers out there. Right, let's have a look what we've got on the board. Anybody doing anything a bit special? No, not really at the moment. Shaw's User is down in 4th position. He's currently fastest in P in the first sector, but not really doing anything different or anything exciting. There's Jobson. Yeah, mate, I'm all right. My pedal and wheels went wrong and that ruined it. I'll be stronger next season. A bit of a shame. That's how it is. That's how it is sometimes. Slider UK, nice to see you for the grand finale as well. And Opa Jen, sorry, that is Opa Lick. Who is the this is the amateur final. So is the amateur season 6 winner. So that's who that is, if you're wondering. I don't think he's racing tonight. You never know. We'll find out. George Rallitas has just joined in the lobby for you George Rallitas fans. So he will be there. Number 11, there goes George into number 11. That was the Lincoln Co. fastest time out. He's really not covering himself here on the same set of pace that I'd expect him to be. It's a bit of a but you never know. They could be running on race distance pace. Because we don't really know. So Jean-Petre's just gone into the 106s. That's what I'd expect to see realistically, is the 106s. So we had a 106.7, I think it was, if I'm honest. So I think it's still there to be had. Rob South going a bit faster, not really setting the board alight. Past Jean-Petre is fastest, but there is still a theoretical faster lap here. Again, 106.7 is what theoretically is faster. There's George going a bit faster. He's 3/10 off. Should get him in top 4 if he can maintain the pace as he goes down the Hamilton Straight. Gets himself top 4. Trebek's got himself into top 3 as well, which is a lot nicer than where he was before. This is the Abbey. You basically go through the long right-hander here. Very high accidents can happen at this section as they come back down. Sorry, that's through club. Back to the start finish. Carl Smith gets improved up to 12th position. Currently, with 5 minutes to go. This is the practice session, so again, we don't really know as they come through. This is Jean-Petre coming through the link. Doesn't really know the link, the loop, depending on where you want to call it. That takes us down to Chapel Curve and back down the Hanger Straight. It's the loop technically goes all the way to the left, and that joins onto the GP circuit. And there you can see Jean-Petre in the background. There's Mike Bullen. There's Bojan in the number 29 Honda. So the Honda is the car of choice at the moment. Quite a few Hondas on the grid, 4 actually, but a good mix at the moment. Bojan's trying to get himself a little bit further, 1.2. He needs to get himself top 8 realistically. He's 6/10. Oh, what's Bojan doing? Nothing really special. He is improving in Sector 1 and Sector 2, so he's 6/10 off fastest time. He should get himself top 5 if he can maintain that speed. Top 11, 8/10 up in that final sector. So he didn't really put himself do himself any favours in that final sector. That sausage curb as you come through Club, down Vale into Club, that will launch the car. Nick Papadim in the Honda, in the Renault Megane, actually launched the car himself there. 7/10 off, no improvement for Alves at the moment. So Podiflak and John Petra are first and second, Trebek is third, Markham is fourth, Markham is the other Honda in ninth. So we've got Honda, Alfa Romeo, Renault and Honda taking up top 4. Lincoln Co is in fifth, and then Cupra for Charles Usa is in 6th. Don't forget, Charles Usa is carrying ballast on board. He's second in the championship. There he is in the back. Trying to get a lovely tow here from Boki, who's down in 15th. Championship winner of the Pro Series, Gregor, in 18th, has just joined. He's in the Honda. Bullen is improving a little bit, but he keeps this pace up. He gets himself second. But again, not fast enough. He lost it all in the final sector. 17.795 is that final. Well, he lost it in every sector, actually. I say he lost it in the final sector. He lost it in every single sector. But most notably is the sector 3. So the only driver in the 17.6s in sector 3 is Jean Petra. Everybody else is in the 17.7s or higher. So that's where Jean Petra is making up he's making up over 1/10 of a second through the final sector as we watch Gregor in 18th position at the moment. Like I said, he's already won the championship, but again, he's out here to get the points. Nobody's had the perfect score so far. Boki is improving. He's currently down in 15th, 20.665. So we'll see how that pans out. Can he do anything from here? It's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky for him, I think. Question is, they're just all... The thing we don't know at this time is we do not know the fuel loads. That's the big unknown here. So we've seen it time and time again through the season where certain drivers haven't really been anywhere. They haven't really been showing their true pace. And that's primarily because they haven't really been out. They've been running around in the practice session, which is what we're watching now, trying to basically get their race pace sorted. So we don't see a true reflection of the order as Tijo gets himself into 9th just behind Butcher. Carl Smith is up to 13th actually, and Bill Campion is in 16th, but George Ralliatas, who we're watching now, hasn't set a time yet, but he won't with 40 seconds to go. He might get one on the board. No, he's retired. So again, we don't really know the true pace of the drivers at the minute. But all we do know so far is that Jean Petra is the fastest out there. And it's that Sector 1 and Sector 3 times. So he did a 28.961 in Sector 1, Jean Petra, who we're watching now. Everybody else is in the 29s. Everybody else is in the 29s. It's a pretty standard time within that sector. They're all within a second, so the longest person in that sector is Bill Campion at a 29.961, so he's only a second off the pace through that sector. In Sector 2, again, Bill Campion's the slowest. He's down in 16th at the moment, a 20.8. The best is a 20.3. It's not that far off. First to 16th is not the fastest. Right. They're all going to pile out as quickly as possible to get out the grids. Who Who is Jean Petrus in there? Where's Poddy? He's going to go. So Trebek's one of the first drivers out on the track. We'll hit auto direct for this. Qualifying is 15 minutes long. It's about a 106. I'm expecting a 106.7 is the theoretical fastest lap here. But they are going to need a tow. Teammates are going to be important here. Can you get a tow as you go down the hangar straight? This is the straight we're looking at now. 100% you can. That'll slingshot you through Stowe all the way down into Vale and into Club, which effectively takes us around the half of the lap. So it is prone. There's T-Joke in the number 7. He's the only driver running the little Peugeot this time out. 18 drivers in, so it will be a P9 to P14 reverse for race 3. So that's going to be important. So you want to be top 14 at best. You do not want to be 15th, 16th, 17th, or 18th. Right. First driver in that sector. Where's Butcher? He's still in that sector. Jean Petrus going through. That's Alves. I believe Alves is the first driver in that sector. He is. So there's Alves for the play team racing. He's the first driver in the sector of anybody. What can Alves do here? Behind that is Trebek in the number 7 as we ride on board now with Alves. You can see here going down, moving it as best as he can. Still got to figure this out. That's not going to do anything from there, realistically. I think he's going to be all over that. Jean Petrus doing a 26. He's absolutely flying in that sector. T-Joke's done a 29. 29s are on the board. Fastest man in that sector is Jean Petrus, 29 dead. This is Alves again. What can he do? He's going to be crossing the line first time out. Down as he comes into the club complex. He needs to not hit that sausage curbs. He's purple sector 1 and purple sector 2 because he's the first driver in those sectors, which is why he will be purple. But he will not be the fastest. I suspect we're going to see a very early order shuffle here as they all cross the board. They can't afford to have a line off the board. There goes Alves. There comes Jean Petrus, crosses the line. Does he get a 106? No, he gets a 107. Flax at 7/10. Alves, 8's up. Stu Neal's got into 4th. 5th is George. Expecting that Lincoln Co to be faster than that. Expecting that Lincoln Co to be fastest, but Alves had his fastest in sector 2 at this time. So he's fastest. Gregor's got himself into 2nd, and he's carrying a maximum ballast on board that car as well. So that's really going to hinder him. There's Shaw's user. There's Trebek. We're still watching the man before. These two are six Trips Motorsport drivers, T6 Motorsport drivers. So they're going to be helping them out. Andy Foster's now just joined in 19th. Will he get a lap out? At the moment, Jean Petrus, fastest sector 1, fastest sector 2. He should just creep in to the 106s. Through the club complex he comes now, through the final right-hander, onto the start-finish straight. Purple sector 1, purple sector 2. He has had a little of a pull along the way. Trebek into 3rd, Gregor's into 2nd, crosses the line, extends provisional pole position to a 106.9. We're watching Aaron Markham at the moment. The board is saying he's going a little bit faster. I'm not entirely sure he is. I think the game is having a little bit of it's promoting him where it shouldn't be. Going across the board, he'll go top 5 if he can keep this pace up. Goes 2nd. He goes 2nd. Goes 2nd. He hasn't really done anything special in that either, but that's a quality result. Butcher gets himself because he improved. He's currently in 11th, improves to 4th. Behind that's Carl Smith. Should always be in the yellow DHL one. It just is. Is 15th, stays 15th at the moment. Trebek, he coming through the final complex, currently in 6th position. He's improved in sector 1, improved in sector 2. At the current rate, he should be 0.5 of a second up. He should go top 3, but he's going to have a mighty final sector. 17.7 is best in this sector. Can he cross the line? Can he improve? 107.39 up, top 3rd. Gets himself into 3rd position. Poddy Flack was top 3. Gregor is now down, but he's getting a lovely little toe there. Whoa! They put it on 2 wheels there. That's Gregor in the 22, just ahead. And there is the number 69, the green Honda of the winner of the Pro-Am. He's had a lovely little toe. Can he improve? Into 2nd, but not enough. Not enough. I don't think he's going to get any more out of this. I think that's as much as his wagon's going to be able to wiggle his wheels, unfortunately. But he's got himself into second. He's going for the points here, though. He has to get as many points as he can. Carl Smith down in 16th position. What can Carl do here? 1.4. No improvement for Carl. Mike Bullen's down in 11th position. He's got the number 53 of Shaw's User right behind him. Shaw's User at the moment down in 12th position. That's who we're riding on board now. Just ahead of that, Rob South finally put a lap on the board. Got himself into 12th position at the moment. Top 18 separated by 2.4 seconds. Riding back now from Mike Bullen. There's Shaw's User. He's dragging Shaw's along. He's dragging and dragging along. Shaw's User putting it on 2 wheels because he's decided that's where he wants to go. There's Mike Bullen. What can Bullen do here? Can he improve himself? Rob South is now down to 12th. Bullen gets himself. Improves into 6th. Shaw's improves into 12th. There's T-Joke. 8 minutes remaining of the qualifying session. Do we think we're going to see a reduction in fuel burn? I do think we are. I do think we're going to start to see some laps. We have not technically seen the fastest lap yet. I was again expecting a 1:06.7. T-Joke's got himself into 10th. It's not really the car for this, unfortunately, at the moment. The Crazy Drivers machine is not the machine you want to be in. You need that long gearing. Rob South in 14th at the moment. Can he improve himself? Andy Foster not set up time on the board yet. Is he still in the pits? Andy Foster is on vacation in the pits. There's Poddy Flack. There's Bojan in the 29. Bojan, where's his old buddy? His old buddy's in 5th. Bojan and Butcher seem to spend most of their racing career together. Butcher's into 5th. Can Bojan join him? At the moment, 2-2-4. It's... we just lost Andy Foster. It's 200 tenths up, 400 tenths up. He should be 6 tenths up. He might improve into 7th to 8th. Shaw's Uster has got himself up into 9th position. Bojan crosses the board. What can Bojan do from here? Gets himself to 5th. Mighty final sector. Right next to his old buddy Butcher. So Butcher and Bojan both in 5 and 6. Jean Petra going a bit faster. 200ths of a second. 300ths of a second up now. The question is, can he maintain this into the final sector? Car is basically unballasted. He's had a lovely little tow through sectors 1 and sector 2. But again, he's got to hook up that final sector. He puts 2 wheels in the wall. Can he cross the line? Yes, he does. What does he get? Extends it to a 1:06.9. That's perfect. That's what he needs to do. He can do no more. He just has to keep going. Gregor is in 2nd, 2 tenths of a second away now from the last lap. That's pushed the Markham down to 3rd. Shaw's User currently in 10th position. Comes across now down the final straight. What can he do from here? This is the Hamilton straight, if you're wondering. Does not improve. All 18 cars currently out on track. There's Carl Smith. There's Jean Petra going faster again. So he's had another lovely little tow here. He's going to have to make hay. There's Alves in the background. He's obviously pulling over for the other drivers who are on a hot lap. Question is, can he get this done? Can he close this, get this gap extended? Greg has done a 29.03. He's 3 tenths of a second off in sector 1, so he's not going to improve anything on this lap on the board at the moment. Jean Petra should get a lovely little tow there from Carl Smith and should extend into the 1:06.7s. That's the lap I was looking for. That was the lap that I was expecting to see, a 1:06.7. I do not think we're going to get anything faster than that unless he's literally driven it to the line and there's no fuel on board. That's going to be very, very struggling. Yeah, and Jean Petra has now abandoned his lap. He basically ran out of fuel on the final lap, and that's that. I don't think we're going to see that. It's all to play for, though, in this midfield, which is tightly packed. There is nothing really separating anything from 3rd all the way down to 9th, and then we've got a new bolt from down from that as well. So Aaron Markham, 2 tenths up. He's 4 tenths. He's miles out. He's going to go nowhere from that. He holds on to, 4th position. Butcher's in the background there. Yeah, he's not going to get anything from there realistically. Trebek's going a little bit faster. He's improved in Sector 1, he's improved in Sector 2. If he can maintain this, he can get himself into second position. 292.98 up. He can get himself second position. Has he had a lovely little tow from the car in front? He only improves to fourth. Wow, he lost a lot of time in that final sector. Podiflak was up to second position, but he's 0.8 of a second off. That's quite unusual. He should be in the 107.2s realistically. He's miles off from that. He's miles off. That's not his absolute speed. Not sure what's happening with the game there. It's having a right old mare. Seven tenths up. Yeah, he's lost all that time again. Slight improvement, but nothing really to walk home about. Butcher in 7th and lost a load of time in the final sector. It's that final sector that seems to be hurting them all. It's Sector 3. Bullen, there he is in the Honda, the number 88, 3/10 up. 3/10 up was as high as second at the opening section of this race. As Shaw's used to dives out the way, coming down to the club complex. Through the left-hander we go, then it's a right followed by a right. 4/10 up, 4/10 up. He's 6.9 at the moment in 8th. If he can keep this pace, he'll be 5th, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it, you know. I think he's going to put himself in 6th position. He's with his teammate, really, with Aaron Markham. So he has progressed through the grid, through the entire section, through this season so far. He was starting down in 18th. He's getting himself now to the top half of the field. Podiflak is 0.5 of a second off. If he can keep that pace, he'll be around 8th position. Crosses the line, 10th. Not good enough. It's just not good enough. At the moment, he's out of his speed, really. He should be down in the 107s. He realistically should be into second or third. Jean Petre is not going to do anything special from there. It's James just decided he wants to go and have a look at Jean Petre. So it did. 106.775. That is the theoretical fastest lap time that I've calculated based on cars' weight performance and previous runnings here. It will be a tall order for him to get a 107, 106.6. Realistically, he'd have to be towed the entirety of the way round, which he does now not have. He's 3/10 up, but I think he's now on race pace. There's Gregor, currently in second position, 0.3 of a second away. So it's anybody's game, but it's mostly Jean Petre's, with 2 minutes remaining of the qualifying session. So the question now is, as we go into these final 2 minutes, the drivers are going to have to get themselves ready here. They're going to have to get themselves composed and think about their race pace now. So do the guys in the middle, do they go out as Tcsrl gets himself into 10th? Alves, Manuel is improving slightly, 4/10, but it's Sector 3 that he's really, really struggled on. That's where drivers are making or breaking this lap, basically. It's all down to Sector 3. And only 2 drivers are in the 17.6s. That's Jean Petre and George, who's just popped into 3rd in the Lincoln Co. So the Lincoln Co. randomly popped himself into 3rd. Didn't even see that. Wasn't even watching it. Well done. Didn't even set the timing boards alight. Didn't do a special lap, but absolutely solid result. Currently in 3rd. That's pushed Trebek down to 4th. Jean Petre, the game loves Jean Petre. It's back on him. Let's give Bill Campion some airtime. In the X99, that's the X-Shaw's racing machine. He's down in 1:59 at the moment. Jean Petre, is he going faster? No, he's run off the road. Bill Campion, 42 seconds to go. I don't think he'll get anything out of that. I think that's going to be game over for him. Jean Petre is just diving in the pits. That's what he's doing. So realistically, I think that's it for the qualifying session. I can't really see anybody else going on the board faster or doing anything magnetic at the moment. T-Joke's just done a personal best in Sector 2, but he's retired. So there is the classifications, provisional classifications, as I always say, for the final qualifying session of the season. Jean Petre from Markham, from Gregor, from George, from Simon, from Mike, from Bojan, Butcher, Neil, T-Joke, Poddy, Shores, Manuel, Rob South, Boki, George, Carl, Bill Campion, and Andy Foster brings up the rear. Absolutely solid result from them. An absolutely close fought qualifying, but Jean Petrus just had the edge. He's unballasted, don't forget. Now, the question is his buddy Trebek, also a Trip 6 Motorsport driver, going to be able to put something in there as well? That's going to be important to see. We've got George down in fourth in the Lincoln Co. You know my feelings on that car. It is the best looking car on the field. If I had my way, it would win everything. But that's why I don't do any form of administration, because it would just be biased. I love that car. A good result there for Bojan and Butcher. That once again, those two are back together like glue. There will be sparks flying, and Butcher and Neil have had past history before, so watch those two as well. I'm really surprised by T-Joke, Flack and Yusha. I'd expect them to be higher. Flack loves this racetrack. He's down in 11th position. He needs to get himself top 6 if he wants to be in with a shout of winning race 2, same as Shaw's. Manuel Alves, great racing from him, same as Rob Smith and Boki. George and Carl and Bill down towards the rear of the field. Andy Foster's down as well as there. Watch out for those. Yes, they might be towards the tail end of the grid, but those 4 have basically stuck like glue for the entirety of the season. There's always some sort of action going on, and that's going to be absolutely brilliant. Qualifying is now over, as it says on the board. I'm not sure what the game's doing. It's having its own little mare, so we could find out that we'll be back to where we started. I'll keep an eye on the Discord to see what's happening, to make sure nothing goes wrong, because things tend to go wrong as everything happens. Nope, everything's up and running. Everything's on the running. So here we go. Formation is on board. We'll keep an eye on that as it happens. You can see there. So question now is it going to load? So we've had this before where it went into loading and it all just went wrong badly. So we'll keep an eye on this. We're missing second position at the moment. We're missing a couple of the drivers. So it could be that we're going to reset. So Shaw's user has popped in as well. It just says formation. There isn't anything else going on at the moment. There is 23 seconds left of the formation before we start the race. We are missing second place man at the moment. Question is second place going to be able to pop in? They have to get in. There he is. There's Aaron Markham. We're loading up the field. We've got 7 seconds to go. It looks like we're all in. We are code green for all the drivers. Keep an eye on the board. Watch out who's going to be leading for the final 3 races of the season. Keep an eye on the board. It's flashing, it's flashing, it's flashing, and it's lights out, and away we go. And who has had the perfect start coming into turn 1? John Petra is leading from the corner. Behind that's Aaron Markham. Gregor's behind that. Gorgeous just hold on at the moment to the fast-moving Simon Trebek. Bullen and Butcher side by side in the background. There's Bullen. He's trying to force the issue. Can he do it? Bojan round the outsides. Absolutely stoved it up there. Ticked a box. Sensational there. Oh, there's contact in the background. There's contact in the background. We've hit the button. We'll have a look. Trying to get back on. Hold on to it. You're all running out there. You're going to be all over the board. Needs to hold on to that nice and tightly. There's Trebek in the middle. He is right behind Gregor. Aaron Markham's holding on to second. Trebek is trying to force the issue. Bullen is being passed on the right side there by Bojan. Bojan's going to take it, but from Shaw's use from Poddyflack. Bullen's right in the middle of this. He's the cream of the sandwich. Right in the middle as they come down as a club. He's looking left. He's looking right. Can he get that Honda rotated and stopped? No, he can't. He was going to dive up the inside. He thought better of it. Brakes and anchors are on. Trebek has gone round. I think Gregor's flashing his lights. There was a little bit of an instant there. Question is he going to let it through? Is he going to let it pass? We will find out later on. Trebek's currently in 4th position. Behind that, there's Gregor. George is making progress. Gregor is going backwards. Butcher is now attacking the leader. Butcher in the left car, the number 40. Behind that, there's the 69. That is Gregor. He's not doing all he can do here. Riding on the backboard now from Trebek. This is Trebek, he's in third. There's there's George in fourth position. The question is, what can he do from here? Riding on board now with Gregor behind that. Riding on board with Butcher. Butcher side by side with Gregor as they go through into the right-hander of Stowe. He needs to keep this really tidy. Bullen's also attacking at the back of Bojan. It's a four-way battle. Butcher's managed to get past. No, he hasn't. Gregor's going to hang this out as much as he can. Will he be later on the brakes? Does he have the confidence? Honda versus Astra. He won't do that. He's nipped and tucked it to the rear end there of Butcher. He had to do that. He had no other opportunity but to do that, because it would have been game over if he'd made the contact. So it's reset all over again. Boki's on the back of Stu Neal. There's Stu Neal. He is in the number blue 95, the number 50. That's Boki. Boki's pushing and pushing, but we leave that battle and rejoin the battle for the mid-pack. Bojan and Bullen once again. Bullen's run wide. Bullen has run wide. Bullen in the blue 88 has had a mistake all by himself, and that's pushed him now back to 10th position. He started 6th, now down to 10th. He's going to be really reaming that in, but the question is, can he do it? Andy Foster in the background is pushing the car. He's a bit damaged second from where, but he's going to do it. Gregor George in the number 11 as Butcher all over the rear end, riding on now from the rear camera of number 4th place man George. Here's George, he's in 4th. There's Butcher, he's in 5th. Butcher's pushing and pushing and pushing. Gregor behind in the 69, he's pushing as well. He's on 2 wheels, he's put it on his roof. Absolutely sensational there. He manages to keep it on the tarmac just enough, but he's lost 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, and Butcher's still trying to stop Poddy Flat coming through. It's not going to work from there. He's going to have to think about this. Bojan loses a position to Butcher. Well, it says he loses a position. He's regained the position. He's back where he started. It's reset all over again. Poddy Flat's going to go around the outside of the 53. Shaw's user makes contact there with Bojan. A little bit naughty there from Poddy. I'm sure Bojan is going to return the favour later in the race. Bojan runs wide and Bullen runs wide. In the background, that's Rob. Is that George Relchas? No, it's Boki. Boki's gone a bit wide in the background, trying to hold on to that position. As you can see in the front there, you've got Manuel Alves against Bojan. Bojan's going to try and swipe that position. Bojan's having a very, very eventful race this evening. He needs to be careful. He's going to start racking up some penalties if he's not too careful. Need to leave a car's width. That is the regulation. 1 car's width at all times. As once again we see Rob South putting it on 2 wheels for the crowd. Rob South is in 13th. He is the car in the 1, 2, 3. That's the Cupra with no label on it. That's the man he is. Right. Trebek is on the back of Markham. Trebek is not going to go up the inside of Markham through that sector. That's just going to be a penalty and a slowdown if he attempts to do that manoeuvre. He's reset all over again. George is on the back of Boki. Boki is the number 50 car ahead. That's the yellow and blue car, the number 22. That's George. There he is. Now, is he going to go for a move here? Right, we're going to leave this battle and rejoin the battle for second position. In second position, Aaron Markham, Honda. In third position, Trebek. He is in the Renault Megane. Don't forget, there's only 30 incident points here as well that we run on every single track. Andy Foster's a DNF. Real shame for Andy Foster. I was looking for a good result for him, but he is now not in the battle. We'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds. Through the right-hander we go, down to the start-finish straight. This is the battle for second position. The rest of the field at the moment is all holding station. Riding on board with third, this is Simon Trebek. Aaron Markham's run wide. Aaron Markham's run wide. He's left the door wide open there for Trebek. Is Trebek going to be able to sail it up the inside? Get the car stopped. 5th, 4th, 3rd into 2nd. Rotates the car. Markham still trying to give him a cheeky look up the inside. Manages not to hold the position and he's lost it again. But now Aaron Markham will be on the offensive because riding from that rear camera of Simon Trebek on the rear wing, Markham's going to be gaining. He's going to be gaining. The question is he going to be gaining enough? He's going to the left. He's going to the right. He's now going to be on the inside into Stowe. This isn't going to work. He's going to have to come back and go for the long slingshot round. Force Trebek wide through the next series of corners and push him into a defensive move, because he can't really go into the late lunge here. It's going to cause havoc and carnage. He thinks better of it at the moment. So Trebek, Trip 6 Motorsport drivers are first and second. Then we've got Eurotech Autosport down in third. It is 1-2 for the teammates. But there's Gregor, there's George. He's now approaching, getting a bit faster in the background. As we leave that at the moment and look at this pack, you've got Podiflak right in the mix of this. There's Podiflak, behind that is Shores User down in 6th. Right, Aaron Markham. Boki is back on the back of Alves. Manuel's in 13th. He's back on this battle, back in this position. There's Rob South. It is Cooper, and a little Peugeot. And in the middle of that is Boki. He's the number 50. That one, the yellow and or blue one, or purple, probably purple, Thrustmaster car, right in the middle of this. He's absolutely riding on board with him now. He's having to attack the car ahead and defend. As you see, Rob South coming under pressure from Manuel. Manuel on the left side, number 5 versus the number 3, equal machinery, 2 different nationalities. Which one's going to stove it up the inside? Butcher has been passed by Flack. Flack is now into 6th. There is the gaggle of the cars. This is the other gaggle of cars. This is the 4-way Cupra battle as it unfolds at the moment. The question is, can Manuel do anything from here? He's holding on to this as best he can. Right, Butcher leaving that battle and rejoining the battle for 6th position. Aaron Markham hasn't made progress with Trebek for 2nd and 3rd, but I'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds. Gregor and George are just holding stations. This is the battle for 6th. There is, as you see, Shores User go up the inside. Whoa, he's put it on 2 wheels. Absolutely binned it. And that car on its roof, it is a Seat Cooper. He's managed to reset himself and keep going, but he won't. He's not going to recover from there. Bullen will get a penalty for going out there. He has to be careful. So he's been repassed by Bojan. So Bojan and Bullen are buddies all over again, with Stu Neal at the top of this lead. So these two are all over the shop. Rob South, he's the car in the middle. He's been basically the road cork in the bottle as it stands at the moment. There is Rob South. Behind that in the number 30, that's Boki, and you've got T-Joke behind. This should be a done deal, really. Rob South is just... He's getting better, he's getting faster, he's understanding his environment more. But he's got to get the consistency up at the moment. As you see there, as T-Joke's gone up the inside of George Ralitas, he's gone up in the 22. There's Shores User. Where's Bill Campion? He's not far off, actually. Bill Campion down in 18th position at the moment. We did have 19 cars. You Andy Foster fans at home. Unfortunately, he's a DNF at the moment. A little bit of a second-hand car. He's parked it in the driveway. Hopefully, he'll be there for races 2 and 3. Right, back to the battle for 8th and 9th. So Stu Neal riding from the rear camera now of Stu Neal. That is Bojan and that is Mike Bullen. So Bojan and Bullen are stuck together like glue. Right, Aaron Markham is side by side with Trebek. This is the battle for second, sorry. It was third, now it's second. As you see, Simon Trebek in the Renault Megane, the number 7 black car, has been hung out to dry there from Aaron Markham. That was a textbook manoeuvre. Does he lick the postage stamp? Does he send it? Yes, he does. Into second position, Aaron Markham goes in the number 9 Liquid Molly Honda. That's the white, red and blue one. Boom, there it is. Behind that, that's Trebek. Trebek's going to try and push it. Mike Bullen's got a disqualification. Mike Bullen's got a disqualification, so Mike Bullen is out the running. A bit of a shame for him, but that's how it is sometimes. But he did run off the road a couple of times of his own accord, and that's going to hurt him. It's going to really, really hurt him, but that's how it is sometimes. But the battle for second races on. Right, Bojan and Neal. So Stu Neal up 1 place, Bojan down 2 places. Stu Neal started in 9th, is now 8th. Bojan started 7th. And is going down. Right, Trebek's on the back of Markham all over again, riding on board with Trebek, and he's gaining and he's gaining and he's gaining and he's gaining. The question is he gaining enough? He's trying to sell him a dummy. He's weaving to the left. He's weaving to the right. But is he going to be able to sail it up the inside? No, he is not. Bojan is going to take it. Is going to try to go around the outside of Stu Neal. That's not going to work. I don't think that's going to work through that section, Naz. It just won't. He just didn't have enough momentum and enough speed to be able to do it. That looks like a 2-wheel George. That is a 2-wheel George. So George has put it on 2 wheels. He's now miles back, and he's going to lose out to Podiflat because he's just going to lose so much more time. Podiflat's going to go up the inside. This is audacious move through here. That was, got his nose up front. Greg, Poddy will flash his lights to say, hey, that was a bit naughty. It was a little bit naughty. He should have left room, but again, it's one of those half a dozen of one, half a dozen of another. Final 3 races of the season, there's always going to be contact. Right, Manuel is now even further back. So he's gone back. Right, Trebek is going to attempt to go up the inside of Markham again. Markham saw that Cummins left the door open. It's the only sensible move he's got. He's got to try and go for the old switcheroonies here. He's got to be right on the rear end of that car. Force Simon Trebek to go the long way round. To force him to do that. Put him on 2 wheels. This is Aaron Markham's chance. He should get a much better turning, but Trebek just holds the position, even with 2 wheels on his wagon, or 2 wheels on the road and 2 wheels up in the air. He still manages to hold the position just enough, but Aaron Markham's up the inside. We saw this between Poddy and George on the last lap. These two are a lot more cleaner through that sector. Aaron Markham, can he hold on to this? He should have the inside. Gregor's sniffing around in the background in the number 69. That's what Trebek's got to be careful of. These two have been so busy squabbling with each other over the course of this lap that they've now lost out, and Gregor, riding on board with him now, is all over the back of these. He'll be licking his chops to see if he can get himself into 2nd position for the final race of the season, for the final 3 races. Right. These two are rebattling again. This is Poddy versus George. Poddy is on the right in the 31. The number 11 is George. It is Lincoln Co. versus... I think he's returning the favour there. Yeah, he's returning the favour. Those two, I get the feeling this isn't going to end anytime soon. These two are going to be battling it out, shall we say. Right, Trebek is still stuck in 2nd position. Riding now back from Aaron Markham's car all the way down in 2nd. There is 3rd. There is 4th position. Gregor is just hoping, waiting, riding on board with him now. He's going to go and try to go around the outside through the right-hander there. That's just not going to work through Abbey into Farm and then into the link. He's going to have an absolute huge brave pill if he wants to pull this off. This should be the last lap. I don't know. And a 107, it might be 1 lap plus 1 more. It will be 1 lap plus 1 more. That's what we're going to get. It's all to play for here. The middle of the field is kind of spread out, the holding station. This is the battle for 2nd. Aaron Markham riding on board now. He is absolutely trying to hold on to everything he can do here. As the 3 of them absolutely drive nose to tail, hammer to tongue through the final 3 sections of this racetrack. It's going to be incredibly difficult if one of them makes a mistake to regain anything now. Rob Smith is on the back of Carl Smith as well. Carl Smith is in the 25. Rob South, not Smith, South. Rob South in 15th position is trying to find his way through this field now. He's down in 15th. Carl Smith is up 3. Bill Campion is in 16th. George Rallitas is back out and racing and fighting. There's the man. Right. Simon Trebek, we're going to follow this through to the end. This is the battle for 2nd position. Trebek, that could be it. That could be Trebek's opportunity gone there. That slight mistake. Now Aaron has to get this Honda rotated. He has to get it moved. He has to get it absolutely gone like the wind through the hangar straight. This is where Gregor's had a slowdown penalty that should release Trebek, the man behind, the man we're riding on board with now. Trip 6 Motorsport versus Eurotech. Through the right-hander, that Honda's sliding all over the road. Through the right-hander we go. Absolutely doing all he can do there. The question is he going to get it past? George's on the back of Poddy. We'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds. That's gone. No, so that's done as well. So at the moment, I think that's game over. So, John Petra takes the victory. Markham will hold 2nd position by a hair's whisker from Trebek. Watch that unfold in race 2. Gregor, he's just been sitting there licking his chops, hoping something would go wrong. Poddy Flack is in 5th. George is in 6th position. Butcher comes home in 7th. Stu Neal up 1 in 8th. Bojan is all the way down in 9th, lost 2 positions. Boki holds on to 10th, up 5 places. Up 5 places. Shaw's Yusuf for 11th, T-Joke is 12th, Manuel is 13th, Carl is 14th, South is 15th, Campion is 16th, Rallytas bringing the car home for GRR Racing. Absolutely spot on for him. His fastest lap was actually 107.8. So he was faster than Carl Smith and Bill Campion above him. So, yeah, I think that's really gonna play. He's got to work on that realistically. He's got the speed in the car. He's got that lap time. So I think he could do it, but he's got to get the consistency up. He's got to get that consistency up. Confirmation there, your race winner. So Jean Petra, I think, is trying to go for golden here. Carl Smith's had a 30-second penalty added to his race time. Bit of a shame, but there you go. That happens sometimes. No idea what for. I'm sure someone will tell me. Jean Petra, race winner. Fastest lap, Jean Petra. Race qualifying, Jean Petra. At the moment, he has fastest in qualifying and the 3 on the board in race 1. Question is, 2 on the board for race 1. The question is, can he continue this? Can he make Tcsrl history of getting a clean stripe? That's never happened before. This is his best time of doing it. Right. What a race. Absolutely sensational. Sensational as always. What do we want? We want the wheel spin. Can you see me? Yes, you can see me. Welcome to the commentary box. The camera's actually working this time, which is really, really good. They're going to sort the server out, get it all refreshed, and get everything ready. If you're new to the racing, we basically decide where we're going to reverse the grid. Now, because there is less than 20 cars, we are going from P8 to P14. So that means anybody from Boki down to South could be on pole position for race 2, for race 3. So we will be reversing from Boki, that's guaranteed. So you Boki fans and you Bojan fans, both for the Agir Racing, you could see your 2 drivers on pole position, first and second. So that's going to be exciting. So let's turn the wheel. Let's see who's going to get themselves onto that pole position place. It is Shaw's User. So Shaw's User will be on pole position for race 2. Race 3. Race 3, not race 2. I just need to put this in, and then we will go back to see where we are. Right. Let's contact and get that up and running. So that's going to be interesting. So this is a real opportunity for the Agir boys. I think it's called Agir. I saw, Ojan, which is Opelek. Put that in there as well. And we will see at... Okay, so that's all nice and done. We'll keep an eye, as always, as I do, on to see if there's anybody about, but we'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds. Right, absolutely sensational racing there for the third one. Silverstone's one of those racetracks that if you get into a breakaway group, you're basically going to be able to get ahead of the rest of the field. And that's what we saw again tonight. It's a real shame in terms of some of the drivers that we had. I was expecting more from some of them. If I'm honest, I was expecting George in that Lincoln Co to be a lot faster than he was. He wasn't, which was a shame. But that's how it is sometimes. So I was expecting him to be faster. He just wasn't. So I still think there's a bit of speed to come there. Aaron, Trebek and Gregor had a fantastic ding-dong through the entirety of the race. Again, Jean Petra is on for, he could be on for history here. So for race 2, I'd expect him to win. Unless there's an issue or Trebek is released, because there is a real opportunity here where Trebek could be released. And if Trebek is released, and don't forget Trebek is in the unballasted Renault Megane. That's the number 7 black car, finished 3rd in race 1. So there is a real opportunity for him to get into this and to be able to maybe get a race win. But it's one thing to get to the front of the grid. It's another thing to... I think that's the right password. Yeah, it's the right password. It's another thing to take the victory. So that's going to be interesting. For me, my 50p, my 100%, my 50p is going to be on Jean Petre. Thinking about it, Jean Petre. Yeah, it's going to be on Jean Petre. I think at the moment, with the fact that Gregor's fast. If Gregor can clear him in 4th, there's a real opportunity here for Gregor to be able to take another race victory. The question is, if Trebek clears Markham and he's dragged along by Jean Petre, will Jean Petre allow him to have the victory? I don't know, because you want to make history, because this is the perfect opportunity to make history, to get the clean sweep. It's never been done before in Tcsrl history. We have had a 3 victory. Same car has won the three victories. We've had qualifying and 3 victories, but we've never had a clean sweep, because it's race 3 that causes all the issues. But here is a good opportunity, because if you are just faster, you can just get round everybody. I don't know. It's going to be tricky, I think. It's going to be very, very tricky for him to do that. Right. We're going to jump across to the commentary. If I can actually get into it, because sometimes I can't actually get into the commentary. It's having a right old Mardy at the moment. There you go. I can get into it. So it's going to be interesting. Mike Bullen, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm going to start with qualifying. There, my voice is going. Start with qualifying first, and then I'm going to start with and then go through the race. Qualifying, you seem to really find some pace towards the end of it.
Yeah. To be honest, in practice, I was doing very, very low 107s. So I was expecting to be there or thereabouts. Didn't quite hook it up in quali. I was about 0.2 off my best. But you know what it's like. You always sort of overdrive a little bit, try a little bit too hard sometimes. But I was happy. I was comfortably in the top 10 P6, I think. The paces in the car as shown by my teammate who was in P2. So I was happy with quali. I thought it put us in a good position.
Yeah, I mean, you were there or thereabouts. I was expecting a 106.7. Did you and Aaron discuss anything about using, one of you giving a toe to the other one? Because that's the only way you can realistically get into the 107s consistently.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it, but we thought it was better to just concentrate on our own quality and just try and pick up toes off others while they were driving around, which seemed to work. For the most part, but like I say, P2 and P6, we were pretty happy with that as a team. So
just go to the race now. Obviously, for all the Mike Bullen fans at home, a bit unlucky, I'll say, with the disqualification. Unfortunately, not being able to finish the race. But previous to that, it was a very intense race. From what I could see, is that you were in a massive group of cars, and you were all with Boki. Was it Boki or Bojan?
Bojan was there, and I had Georges behind me for a bit of it, and then in front, and I was behind. I think Russ was a bit of a cork in a bottle, as you would put it. So we were all sort of bunched up. But as you know, it's 30 penalty points.
Yes.
There's 4 points for making contact. Half of that was my fault, just slightly misjudging. In braking zones and just sort of bumper tapping, but nothing major. But the rest of it was me being sort of dive bombed or knocked, and so I am a little frustrated by it. But that is just the way race room works. Unfortunately, the time penalty for track limits and the incident penalty, the fact that you get points if somebody hits you, has always been a slight source of frustration. But it is what it is. It's the same for everyone. I just got to get on with it.
It's one of those, isn't it? And I think with Silverstone, because it's an old track, but it's new. This is the new section of it. It's the wider tracks encourage more open door attempts. Would that be the right way of saying it?
Yeah, there are multiple lines you can take, and obviously that's what makes the racing exciting. Like I say, and I'm not blaming any of the drivers for this. It's a race room thing that, like I say, unfortunately, if somebody hits you from behind, trying to make a move, like I did on others, like I say, half of those points were me tapping other drivers, but they would have also got 4 points on their penalty points for me tapping them. And like I say, that whole system, when you think about it, is nonsense. But it is the best way that we can try and keep things policed and controlled. So I get it, and like I say, it is the same for everyone. But yes, this track does encourage that type of driving. And that's what makes the driving exciting. And until I got disqualified, it was a blooming good race.
It's always the way, though, isn't it? It's always one of those. Is that when you want that excitement of being in the group and battling hard and that side of it. But race room that's the system they employ, and that's the controls that we have.
Yeah, I think, look, the frustration mostly is from the fact that I qualified P6. By the end of lap 1, I was P9 because I just got caught up and I got knocked out of position, and then I lost a few positions. And then I'm trying to battle back, and then it happens again. And so most of the frustration is just sort of my own incompetence, if I'm honest. So I'm just looking forward to starting at the back now for this second race and trying to fight my way through.
So exactly. So obviously in race 1, obviously, disappointing, but that's how it is sometimes. It happens to everybody at some point in the season, unfortunately. But race 2, obviously starting at the back of the field, like you said. But your mentality, it must be quite exciting because you're going to be able to, battle your way through and up the field now to see how far you can go.
Yeah, absolutely. And, as I've said before, I was using this season really just to get back into it after 2 years away. I'm starting to get to the point now where I'm on the pace, got some new equipment, which is helping. So I'm just looking forward to it. It's going to be a good bit of fun. There are some cars ahead of me that I should be quite easily quicker than based on the quality times that were put in. And there are some cars that are going to be much more difficult to catch and overtake. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to the battle, really. I'm just going to try and obviously not get as many penalty points.
But it's always the way, though. Just quickly, obviously, before I let you go, but hopefully you'll join us right at the end and we can have a little bit more conversation on it. But, I mean, I've seen leagues where they've raced with 50 penalty points, and it's awful. Like, you go, oh my God. Because you go, I got 50, I can just bash into everybody. So it's a tough call, isn't it? I mean, the game is harsh, but it's the rules that are there.
It is, mate. As you know, in the early days of this championship, we used to run 20 for the first two races and only 30 for the final race because it was reverse grid. So, I get it. Like I say, it is frustrating, but it's what we got and it's how we police it. So, like I say, it's the same for everyone. So nobody's fault. I just got to get on with it now and try and get my way up that grid.
Well, good luck for race 2. I'm expecting you to take the Honda 88 Back to the Future. I've been trying to get that in for the entire of the season. I've ticked that box. Please don't report me to YouTube police for copyright. Well, good luck for race 2. Hopefully I'll talk to you after race 2. Good luck for race 2.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. So that was Mike Bullen on the old on the comms there.
So that's going to be super exciting to see how he does. And again, the point system is on there. So let me just have a quick look over on the chat before I talk about the points. Slider, do you have the championship standings? No. So one of the things that we will be improving for next season, so if you're not already on the Discord, is I will be here for the entirety of next season except for one round. The dates are already planned. I've already spoken to the admins about that, so you'll have a huge update in terms of the graphics package that we'll be presenting. So at the moment, let's see if I've got anything. Let's have a look what I've got on the board. No. So to answer my question, yes, I do. So Gregor is currently on 366 points. Shaw's Use is on 267. Stu Neal's on 250. So Shaw's Use just has to finish ahead of Stu Neal. Russ Butcher did finish ahead of that one. Butcher finished in 7th, so he'll close the gap. T-Joke's in 5th. He's out the championship. That's not going to happen. And Boki's 188. Papadim's not racing, so Flack should pass him. And Flack is ahead of Boki. So there is going to be a change in the board in that midfield, and that's for the Pro Championship. But at the moment, Shaw's User, I would say, is pretty much cemented that 2nd position. In terms of the AM Championship, Opalik isn't racing. Opalik is actually on the chat. Where is he? OGNJEN 7 on the chat. That's Opalik. Opalik has won that, 340. George, that's the Lincoln Co. that was on its 2 wheels that was battling with Poddy, is in 2nd position on 269 points. Rodrigo Portugal, who's not running, again, has a Lincoln Co. race winner, 249. Carl Smith should leapfrog Portugal and finish. Where's Carl Smith? He's in 16th. And that's George. Bojan. I think it's Boki. Is in 10th position. Yeah, it's going to be close. I'll have to figure it out with Fagpack Maths over here. But again, we're missing Neil Kirby, Edwards, Lucas. We're missing a couple of good drivers from that championship. But it's always the way. We've got 18 in, and that is, unfortunately, the expected amount for the rest of the season, which is today. Right, I'm going to come back. We're going to go across to race 2. So this is the formation lap. I have got no idea what's going on here. We've got a bit of a meltdown of the system. Just hold on. Hit that one. Come on, stream. Nope. Yeah, back up and running. As I said, we are a live stream. And because we are live. Right, so if you're just joining us, this is race 2. I am your commentator, Andy Pawley. And this is race 2. There's 18 drivers in only. Jean Petre is going to start on pole position. Question is he going to be still there when we get down to turn 1? Watch the lights. His lights out away for the penultimate round of the TCRSL. Drawn onto the helicopter views. They're all stoving in now into turn 1. Through the right-hander they go. They need to keep this nice and tidy. There they go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All steaming through into that turner. There is one of the drivers off the camera. That'll do. There is 3rd place man, who's Simon Trebek. Ooh, a little bit of a bum squeeze in the background. George, you're there on the left side, trying to go up the inside of Butcher. The question is he going to be able to do that? Is he going to be able to hold on to that position as they go through now, down into the long hanger straight? Jean Petre still leading in first. Gregor is trying to defend off Poddy Flack. Poddy Flack's up the inside. Aaron Markham's going around the outside. That's just not going to work through there. Gregor has been passed by Poddy Flack. Has he been passed by Poddy Flack? No, he hasn't been passed. Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. They're side by side as they come into the club complex. Butcher's in the background. Oh, there's contact in the rear, but just not enough to do any harm damage there. Stu Neal is in the 95. He is side by side there with George. George in the number 11. Close doors through the right-hander we go. Down. Oh, he's run wide. He's run out of room, and he's going to have to come back on, holding onto that position. Mike Bullen's already up to 14th. He's up 4. Stu Neal's on the outside. Stu Neal, I think, let him go, but he's let 1, 2, 3 cars go. He's down to 9th. Simon Trebek once again is on the back of Markham. There is Boki. Boki's in that bright yellow, number 88. At the moment, he's not making progress. He's lost 2 positions. He's on the back of Stu Neal. Stu Neal is weaving across the road, trying to hold on to all he can do there. Riding from the rear camera. There's Rob South right at the back. He's gaining. Carl Smith is trying to hold and defend off Mike Bullen. Don't forget Mike Bullen was on there as well. Boki and Stu Neal are going side by side through the right-hander of Stowe Corner. Has to do all he can do here. Has to hold on as much as possible through the right-hander. Down into the dip we go. Riding on board again with the wrong person. Georgie, there it is. As Stu Neal's gone into the pits. What's he doing in there? He must have had a slowdown penalty. Slowdown penalty. Right, Trebek. This is the battle for the lead. Trebek's on the back of Jean Petra. He's on the back of Jean Petra. I can't believe it. Aaron Markham has overtaken Jean Petra, and Trebek now is going to be mustering up enough courage to try and do it. Or has Jean Petra going to help his old buddy in third position, Trebek, to try and get the race victory? This is not what Jean Petra wants. He's trying to make history. Bill Campion and Mike Bullen have traded places. They're still trading places. There's Mike Bullen in the 88. There's Bill Campion up to 9th position. T-Joke is on the back of Shores User. These two are old teammates. This is Shores User. This is T-Joke down in 9th position. Ahead of that, Shores User. He's gaining. He's so close he can sniff the paint on the back of that Seat Cupra. There it is. There's a 55, 53, number 8. The Shores User. His teammates in second, and he's attacking the back of Aaron Markham, but nothing special at the moment. T-Joke side by side. That is such a bum squeaky time. Through the right hander, doesn't want to hit the sausage. George has smashed the sausage, manages to keep it and smashed the other sausage. He's absolutely flipped it. He's got to be careful rejoining. I think that car will be teetotaled at the moment. He's retired. He's absolutely... no, he's going. Has he got 4 wheels on his wagon? We're having a look. There's a lot of damage on that car. Is it pointing in the right direction? Just enough. Right, Aaron Markham is side by side. Poddy Flack's on 2 wheels. He's rejoined in 6th position. Poddy Flack was on 2 wheels. That's released Butcher, released Gregor as well. This is important for Butcher. Butcher needs to keep that position. He needs to stay in 4th. Jean Petra is attacking the side of Aaron Markham. Jean Petra right side, number 96 versus the number 9 of Aaron Markham. Aaron Markham will be sweating buckets in that car. He's hoping that someone like Butcher is going to come up from the rear and give him a little bit of a love to help him out. Bill Campion's off again, but Jean Petra's gone up the inside. But Aaron Markham, he's tried to keep the car in there. There's a tap between the two. Holds on as much as possible. One taps the other taps the other. The problem Aaron's got is he can't really give the position back, because if he does, he's going to lose 1, 2, 3 positions. Trebek's now going to launch up the inside. There's Trebek riding on board now with Trebek. Behind that, who are riding on board there with his Gregor. Jean Petra's gone wide. He's gone wide. That's allowed Trebek to come in. Trebek makes contact with his teammate. Cannot believe it. Jean Petra then makes contact with Aaron Markham. He's had a little boost. Aaron Markham is going to hold that as much as possible. The front two are side by side. He's lost it. Aaron Markham gained first, has lost the first position to Aaron Markham, has lost it to, I forgot it, to that guy, Jean Petra. Simon Trebek is now trying to attack. He's trying to go up the inside. It's not going to work through there. You have to be so much more confident. Russ Butcher's on the back as well. Poddy Flack is rejoining. Here's Butcher. Butcher's going up the inside of Gregor. He's going to have to get this car stopped and rotated. If he wants to do that, Gregor will have Christianly the inside. He gets a much better drive, closes the door, says thank you very much, checks himself out. It's reset all over again. Poddy Flack, who was in 5th position, high as 4th. There's Trebek trying to swing it round the outside. Right. Bill Campion is attacking the back of Manuel Alves. Alves is in 14th. Bill Campion is in 14th. T-Joke is attacking. They're all attacking each other. It's absolutely chaos. Absolute sensational stuff tonight. Shores User, there he is. There is T-Joke and Boki. Boki is on the left side, the 88. The number 7 is T-Joke. T-Joke gets the position back. Up to 3rd he goes. There is Rob South. Mike Bullen is 3.5 seconds off and closing the gap. Right, Simon Trebek. He is the 1, 2, 3 third car, that number 7. He's given a little bit of a sniff of a whisker there. Up the inside he goes into Stowe. Aaron just doesn't have the confidence in the brakes. It looks like he doesn't make the turn early. He tries to hang it round the outside, and that loses him another position. So at the moment, Trebek will do one better, but it's not over. There is 8 minutes remaining of this race. It is going to be sensational for the closing half of the race. The question is, who is going to get it? Who is going to be victorious? You get the feeling here that Jean Petra is going for gold. He's going to try and tick all the boxes today. He has to get his head down and get gone, because this lot is sniffing. Poddy Flack is right behind. He's in 6th position. Shores User is 2.3 seconds away. There he is. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th car, the number 31. He's gone up the inside of Butcher. I think Butcher saw him come in and just let him go. Butcher saw that unfold, tried to let him go. Butcher's going to try to hang it around the outside. He just doesn't have the car rotated. A little bit of a kick up on the dust there from Gregor. Manages to get the car stopped and rotated. Trebek now has been attacked by Markham. Butcher's getting along. Gregor's joining along as well. It's a three-way battle into Stowe Corner. The question is one of them going to stow it into the wall? That's going to be the biggest problem. That's going to be the biggest issue they're going to have going now down. Holding on to this as much as possible. He's managed to make a little bit of the gap. Gregor's closing as well. Right, Boki's once again on the back of T-Joke. There's Boki. He's in 9th position. Bill Campion is attacking the back of George. This is 15th and 16th. For you George fans at home, George put the car on the roof, basically, in this section. So George is trying to do, as he nearly does it again. He absolutely loves putting it on 2 wheels, but he needs to keep it on 4 wheels on the tarmac. That's how you win races. That's how you finish the race. But that's how it is, as we've got less than 7 minutes, 6 minutes 38 actually remaining, which is now 37. Brilliant stuff. Let's have a look at the battle now. Rejoining the battle. Once again, this lot of absolutely keeping themselves busy. As you can see here, Trebek at the moment, I think, he just doesn't have the pace there of Jean Petra. He doesn't have that ability at the moment. Aaron Markham riding on board with him now is absolutely trying to do the best he can do, but it's just not going to work. I just don't think he has the pace. He's got to pick his moment. He's got to just hang back now and then launch an attack into the final 3 minutes, because otherwise he's not going to be able to do anything from here. Mike Bullen and Rob South. Rob South is now on the back of Boki. Boki is the number 88. Rob South is this car we're running on board with now. And he is getting closer. He's getting closer and closer and closer. He's 5/10, 4/10. He just needs to be more confident as he hits the brakes, because if he doesn't, he's going to go nowhere. George leaving this and rejoining the battle for 12th and 13th. This is the battle between George and Manuel Alves and Carl Smith. They're absolutely nose to tail to come through into the link. Now, the question is he going to be able to do anything? Is he going to be able to sail anything? As we leave that, Aaron Markham once again is right on the rear end. Stu Neal's on the back of Andy Foster as well. Aaron's got to tuck this outside. He's got to go for the dive. Realistically, Poddy Flack has gone on the outside of Gregor. Gregor just can sling that. He just has so much more confidence through that section of the racetrack. He can just keep the car rotated on 4 wheels pointing in the right direction. Poddy's not going to go around the outside. He's got to go for the old switcheroo here. He's got to go and try to cut him off. It's that one I want. He did get ahead, and then he wasn't ahead, and now he's back behind again. It's reset all over again. George is on the back of Carl Smith. Here's Carl Smith riding on board with him now. George made a little mistake. That's allowed Manuel to get right up close and tight with him. Nip and tuck in 14th position. You Andy Foster fans at home, he's in 18th. He has been passed by Stu Neal, but he's on a 109. He is quicker than Bill Campion in 16th, as these two are battling out. Poddy Flack is side by side with Gregor. They make contact. They can't afford to run out of road. He just keeps him on the 4 wheels on the road. So Poddy Flack is back up to 4th position. Aaron Markham is going for Trebek. He's got this done. This is what he needed to do. And then he's got to find a way to hold on to that position. Trebek just tabs the brakes a little bit there. Aaron's run wide. He's run wide. Trebek has just carried the speed so much more through that section. He's on the outside. Aaron sees the door is open, closes it very gently, as not allowing him to come back through or form an attack again. It'll be 4 laps, including this one, and that will be race over. The question is they going to run out of time? Are they going to run out of time? It won't be 4 laps. It'll be 3 laps. 107.21. It's going to be close. It will be 4 laps, I reckon, but we will see. So Simon Trebek once again riding on board with Trebek through the left-hander. We go into Link. The question is, can he go through this? Can he do this now? He's right on the rear end. Simon put it on 2 wheels. That's what cost him 2nd position in race 2. In race 1, sorry. That's what really cost him that position, so he needs to keep this now nice and tidy. George is once again on the back of Carl Smith. Carl Smith is in 12th position. There he is in the 25. Should be a yellow DHL Audi. I'll always say that. I love that yellow DHL Audi. That's the best looking one on the field. Behind that, but Manuel's gone for it. He's going to go around the outside. He's got to get this done. But these two have been battling each other in the background. That is Manuel. This is George on the left in the number 22. On the right, that is Andy. That's Carl Smith. Audi versus Cupra. Does he get the job done? Yes, he does. Absolutely sensational. He now just needs to keep it all pointing in the right direction. Through the left-hander we go. Nice and tidy, job done. Right, Trebek is trying to force the issue with Aaron Markham. Not having that much success, but the problem is these two cannot afford a single mistake, because if they do, Poddy, Gregor and Butcher are all going to mug them. They will all get mugged. As we ride on board now with Trebek. Through the right-hander we go, down the hanger straight. Needs to keep it all pointing in the right direction. Needs to be absolutely pinpoint accuracy going down here. Gregor's on the back of Poddy Flack. He's trying to get as much as he can, and you can see in the background T-Joke's got Boki for company. We'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds. Through the right-hander we go, 1:04 to go, so it will be 2 laps. 2 laps, including this one, and then that will be it. Yeah, it'll be 2 laps, including this one. Boki's on the back of T-Joke. There's T-Joke in the number 7. He is the car in front. Behind that, in the 88, that is Boki. It is Seat versus Peugeot. But he's not really making any difference at the moment. He's just holding on to that. He's pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Can he push a bit further? Here's the number 9. This is, I've got to sort some of these graphics out. Boki's not going to go up the inside there. Gregor has been passed by Butcher. Has he? He has. Gregor's been passed by Butcher. So Butcher is now past him, but Gregor is just trying to keep all 4 wheels pointing in the direction. You Mike Bullen fans at home, he's up to 7th. He's now onto the back of Rob South. So you Rob South fans at home, which I believe is Jobber 84. He is about to get passed by Rob South. Right, Simon Trebek is on the back of Aaron Markham. It's 37 seconds to go. There will be 1 more lap after this. It's 14 laps. That's the number we're looking at. Jean Petra should get the top 3. Yeah, he's got a fastest lap, and he should take race 2 victory as well. So he's on. But this is the battle. Will Simon Trebek on this lap, is he going to try to do anything as we ride on board with him now? There's Aaron Markham. He's in 2nd position. He's pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. But is he pushing enough? Is he able to? Through the right-hander he goes. Absolute nose to tail. Through the left-hander he goes. Gregor's on the back of Butcher as well. We'll keep an eye on that. Trebek's gone for the dive. He's gone for the dive. He makes contact. That was very audacious. He tried to go for the dive up the inside. He had points to spare. Sailed it up the inside. All he got was 3, and they both run wide. They both run wide. The question is, which one of them is going to hold it on as best they can? Because the problem is, both with penalties now, both are going to have to lose time somewhere in the racetrack. The only time they can do this is coming up through into club, which is not now, which will be this section. So as we ride on board now with 2nd place man Aaron Markham, there is Simon Trebek. He's got to do it now. There, you can hear the engine notes. They're not accelerating as quickly as they should be, because they're just trying to both lose as much time as possible. Otherwise, it'll be 30 seconds. John Petra takes the 2nd, followed by Markham, by Trebek, by Poddy holds 4th, Butcher into 5th, Gregor into 5th, Shaw's User into... These two are going to have an accident. Into 8th, Boki 9th, Rob South just holds off the fast-moving Bullen. George is in 12th, Carl Smith is in 13th. George comes home in 13th when he's rolled it on its roof. Carl Smith is in 14th. Manuel's 15th. Stu Neal, I think he served a drive-through penalty. 16th. Bill Campion is going to bring the car home in 17th. And Andy Foster, he's been off the road a couple of times, a few excursions, is going to bring the car home in 18th position, and he's now losing the penalty right at the end. Absolute brilliant race. Jean Petra is on here to make history. So he's got currently 2 race victories. He has 2 fastest lap and qualifying. Now he just needs to take fastest lap. He needs to take fastest lap and race victory in race 3, which is going to be a very, very tall order. And he's got the set, and you'll make history in TCRSL. which is sensational for him. But that's how it stacks up for race 2. Absolutely brilliant. Loved that. Fantastic racing. Really, really enjoyed it. We'll go back over to the commentary box. I've lost back in the commentary box. Cracking race. They're now going to go through to race 3. It is a reverse of race 1 at position 11. So the pole position sitter will be Shaw's Usa, followed by Boki and Bojan. The two Agir teammates. We do have Agir. I thought we had. Oh, we do. That's Opa Gen 7. Sorry about that. Don't forget to put your comments in here as well, and I'll answer any questions you've got as I can. Jean Petra starting in 11th, and he's got Gregor ahead of him. And Markham and Trebek. It's going to be a tall order. It's going to be a very, very tall order for him to do that, I think. But you never know. It could be race history. TCRL history could be made today. But we will see.
Right, we'll go across to the commentary box while we wait for race 3 to load itself up. But that's what's going to be interesting in race 3, is whether or not we actually see history being made in the TCRSL. It's going to be a tall order able to do that, especially starting down in 11th position. But you never know. You never know. Stranger things have happened in my lifetime. Right, we're back in with the drivers. We've got Aaron and Bullen with us at the moment. So I'm going to talk to Bullen first, and then I'll go to Aaron, because I was going to talk to Bullen first. Mike, can you hear me?
I can.
Right, let's talk about race 2. That looked great fun, to be honest.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I would describe it. It was brilliant fun. Great battles with Bill in the opening couple of laps. I just kept trying the wrong move, and I couldn't quite get my braking right. So he'd come back at me going onto the hanger straight, so I was just having to sort of work my way past him. Once I got past that little battle, then it was a bit lonely for about 4 laps because I was like 4 seconds behind Mr. South.
3.52.
Yeah, and that battle, and of course they all had the toe off each other, and I didn't, so I was having to sort of work really hard to fight that battle back, and I got it to under a second with 1 lap to go, and finished about half a second behind him. But yeah, if I'd got past Bill quicker, it was my own fault. It was just I kept trying to dive bomb Bill and do sexy Danny Ricciardo moves, and it just wasn't working. So yes, if I got past him a little bit quicker, I think I may have had a bit more luck. But yeah, 18th to P11. Do you want? I'll take that all day.
So yeah, I mean, it looked like, again, it looked great fun, and if we go back to the start of the season to now of the season as well, the field is a lot closer, because even Bill. We've raced with Bill in this league and in other leagues, actually. Bill's driving has improved massively. Oh,
God, yeah, absolutely.
And,
I mean...
Yep, carry on, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I couldn't agree more. Because the standard of the driving is very, very good. And, yes, there's pace deltas across the league, but everyone's got someone on their pace, so everyone's battling with someone.
So, obviously, race 3, again, starting at the back of the field, unfortunately. But again, is this a case of just have fun? Because Aaron is going to be starting P10, and obviously you're not that far away from that group of cars, which is where your natural pace would be, realistically.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I'm sort of... 5th to 10th probably is where my pace has got to now. And I think, just same again, basically. I'm going to battle through. I'm going to try and get through those bottom 3 or 4 cars a little bit quicker because I cost myself a bit too much time. And then hopefully I can get on the back of that train a bit quicker. But yeah, I'm going to have fun and enjoy myself. And that was really good fun. And, if I got to 11th in that one, I'd like to get in the top 10 in this one, and just hope maybe there's a little bit of carnage ahead.
Not carnage.
Nothing sinister, obviously, but just an off year or there, and maybe I can work my way through.
Just finally, before I talk to Aaron, it must be nice as well, because obviously the Honda just seems to be alive at the minute in terms of. You've got Gregor. When the league was originally started, there was 1 or 2 Hondas, and now it seems to be the car of. If you can hook it up, it's the car of choice.
Yeah, I've said it in previous weeks, and I'll say it again. I think it's the best all-rounder. Other people may feel differently, but I think it does everything reasonably well. The Alpha is quicker in the corners because it's a little nippy thing, and the cars are like the Lincoln Co's are quicker on the straights, and so on and so on. But I think the Honda does everything well, and if you can hook it up, as you say, over a lap, I think it brings that lap time to you, and I think that is evident in, I think 5 of the top 7 cars in quali were Honda. So
it's going to be exciting. Well, good luck for race 3, and hopefully you'll join me for the final chat of the season.
I will, and I just want to publicly say very well done to my teammate who's got 2 podiums so far before I tip off. So well done.
He's done very well. Aaron, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you. So obviously follow on from Mike, 2 podiums so far out at the moment. So I want to talk about race 2 to begin with, because you were leading race 2 for a short period of time. Was it just, did you think that you could have the victory there? You think, yes, I could do that? Or was it a case of, I'm going to get mugged at some point?
Oh, well aware I was getting mugged at some point. Pascal is rapid tonight, so I just took that chance and I thought, well, let's see what happens. If he makes another mistake and he drops a second, then I might have a chance. But the guy was like 0.6 a lap quicker than us in that first 7 or 8 minutes. I've never seen anything like that. So he nearly rolled it, and I said to Mike, I think Pascal's gonna have to have a nightmare if I want to win. But he nearly did it. But yeah, I'm still happy with P2. That's really good considering his pace.
So with that aside, you and Trebek, there was a moment both within race 1 and race 2 where you and Trebek were so busy fighting that Gregor and Butcher / Poddy nearly caught you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I kept on looking at the gap all the way through. Race 2, I learnt my lesson from race 1. I realised that the battling really screwed us. So race 2, I was actually giving Simon a bump down the straights to try and get us away a little bit. And then as soon as Poddy started battling behind us and we gained a little bit, I just thought, yeah, that's it. We can battle now. I've never done that before. I've never had to tactically think about when I choose to battle. It's always just been guns blazing.
So again, with you and Trebek as well, that it seems to be like you're constantly trading places, but you're waiting for the right moment. It always seems to be Stowe coming down into club before the Hanger Straight. You seem to each wait 2 or 3 laps and then go for the attack.
Yeah, it seems. It doesn't seem. It is a lot easier to follow because you basically look at where the guy's braking and you just hit the brakes at the same time, and you're guaranteed to nail the apex. Even if they go wide, because you're a car length behind, you get the better exit. So you can just hold. You can hold your station, and the car behind knows that move is on no matter what. At that point, and I noticed all the way through the lap, I'd gap Si, and then he'd catch me back up. Even with the ballast, he'd catch me back up there. But I knew that with me having no ballast, going down the straight, it was going to be no competition. I did feel quite sorry for Si, because if he had no ballast tonight, he'd have been P2 easily, but you could say that for a lot of other guys.
Yeah, one of those, isn't it? I mean, it's half a dozen of one and half a dozen of this, so
yeah,
it's how the championship sorts itself out, realistically. So just quickly, with final race of the evening, obviously you're starting in final race of the season. You're starting in 10th position. You've got Jean Petre behind. Jean Petre is on to make currently history in Tcsrl by winning all 3 races, qualifying and all fastest laps.
I don't think he'll do it. I really don't think he'll do it. He's going to have to hope that there's a calamity into turn 1 with the guys, because 1 to 11, that's still a decent group. I mean, you're going to have Poddy and Russ starting mid-pack. They're more than capable of getting to the front pretty quickly and gapping. But if that doesn't happen, then it's game on. But I really do think he'll struggle. If it was maybe his reverse grid to 8th or 9th, it might have been on, but 11 might be one or two cards too much.
Many. Well, I think it's going to be exciting. Hopefully you'll join us right at the end for the final chat of the season, just to get a season roundup, really. Good luck for race 3, the final race of the season, and hopefully I'll talk to you later.
No problem.
Cool.
Nice to speak to you, Andy.
Good luck. So it's going to be exciting, I think, in terms of
The final race of the season. Again, I can still see quite a lot of you on here. I got data. I can see data on here as well. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your chats. I can see there's 54 people watching. So there's quite a lot to watch at the same time. Let me know your thoughts on what you think as well. Do we think Jean-Petre is going to make history? I think it's going to be super exciting, to be perfectly honest. So, if you are just joining us, this is the final round of the TCRSL this season. I am your commentator. That's me. I don't know. I'm pointing at the screen. That way. I'm Andy Pawley. I've been here for some of the season. I will be here for the entire of the next season except for one race. Do not worry. We are at the Silverstone International Circuit. This is a rerun race. So we were going to run this in week 4. We didn't because there was a whole bunch of problems. They did a huge game update and it just completely scrambled all the servers. So it was abandoned. The whole thing was abandoned. So they're rerunning it now. We've only got 17 drivers in at the moment. So we are missing... We're missing Gregor. Real shame, but I think he's decided just to give that one up for the season. I really hope he does join. It would be nice to see him for one last outing this season, but that's how it is sometimes. Boki and Bojan will be starting. So Shaw's User will be starting on pole, followed by Boki and then Bojan, followed by Neil, Butcher, George. So this is a real opportunity for George. Where is George? He's not in here either. Well, 2 of those are out. Followed by Flack, Gregor, Trebek, Markham, and Jean-Petre. And that's how it's going to stack up for the final race of the season. We're going to go past to the left field with those 15 minutes done. Rerun of the first race. It's a reverse grid of the first race, effectively. But yeah, it's a rerun of the first race, basically, which is a shame. There's only 17 in for the final race of the season, so we are missing No, George is in. Oh, I hope that Lincoln Co. wins. For those of you that know me very, very well, I absolutely love the Lincoln Co. It is my favourite car of the entire field. I love it. It's the best looking. It should just win everything, as far as I'm concerned. But it is what it is. Only one Lincoln Co. has won this season. I believe that was Rodrigo Portugal at the Nürburgring Fast Chicane. I did commentate on that race. I didn't commentate on him because I wanted him to win it. And that was a race 3 reverse grid. Absolutely sensational drive. Was very, very well deserved. I think it was Portugal. I'll have to check my notes. One of those things. Right. This is the final race of this season. It is a 15-minute sprint race, and it's basically no holds barred. So, are we going to get carnage? I suspect we are. Right, 17 drivers in. Who is going to be victorious? Jean-Petre is up to 9th, so he's gained 2 already. Watch for the lights at the top left. Final race of the season, and it's lights out, and away we go. Shaw's User has had an absolutely perfect start. Bojan didn't join. He would have been on front row. So Boki's into second. Stu Neal here has a real opportunity to get himself a race victory this time out. There's Butcher in 4th. They're all steaming through into the corner. Trebek's already up 1 place. There's George. There is Aaron Markham. There's Podiflack. They're all now nipping and tucking into that field through the right hander off the 22. That's George. He's also gone off the field now. Trying to hold on, riding on board from Shaw's User. Who's going to be looking to nip and tuck? Who's going to be looking to dive out the inside? This is Gregor. George down in 6th position. There's Trebek. He's in 5th. Butcher's ahead in 4th. There goes Boki. Boki's going to go up the inside of Stu Neal. Shaw's User has to get this gone. He has to get his rear gunner, his teammate, old school style, from the Apex Rate Predators right behind him. Butcher's got into 3rd. He's going to close that door. Trebek's gone for it as well. Boki is getting mugged. absolutely left, right and centre. A little bit of a love tap there, but nothing in toward Aaron Markham. Tried to go around the outside of Podiflack. Aaron Markham, he's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th, 8th, the number 9 Liquid Molly car. Podiflack's the number 31. That is the little 4-car, 4-door Alfa Romeo. There he is, through the left-hander he goes. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. Through Abbey, through Stowe. There goes Bokey. He's not going to go anywhere from there. Bokey is the cork in the bottle. George round the outside again. George is fast here. He could take another victory. Aaron Markham's on for it as well. Wow, there's contact. There's contact. A little bit of scuff of the wheel there. He's returning the favour. That's allowed Jean Petra to get through as well. So Bokey fighting his way out here. Jean Petra, Podiflack. Where's Poddy? Poddy's lost a position through all of that. So Poddy has lost out again. There goes Mania. There goes Bokey up the inside of Poddy. He's going to be racking up those incident points. And he's got a slow down penalty. Poddy flashing his lights, going, oh, come on. You can't be going around out there like that. Poddy will return the favour. Just like that. Through the inside he goes, but they need to be careful. Bokey's made his own mistake there, so that should allow Podiflack to come back through. Mike Bullen's still down in 17th at the start of this race because of the way it started. Right, Trebek is now on the back of Butcher, so Trebek is up to 4th position. Stu Neal is on the back of Shaw's User as well. So the battle for the lead is on. It is Cupra, Astra, Renault, Lincoln Co and Honda. That's the top drivers at the moment with less than 12 minutes to go. It's all kicking off. Jean Petra is stuck behind Aaron Markham. So at the moment, Aaron Markham here, another kick of the dust there as the cars go through the right-hander onto the hanger straight, building up that speed. Over 125 miles an hour down the straight they go. You can see T-Jokes on the back of Bokey. Bokey's the 88, T-Jokes the number 7. Motul Peugeot versus the Thrustmaster, Seat Cupra. Behind that, that's Rob South. You Rob South fans at home, he's up to 11th position, which would be one of his best finishes this season so far. Right, Russ Butcher has got past Stu Neal. He's done the old switcheroonies there, so Russ Butcher could take a race victory here. But Russ Butcher and Stu Neal, there is no love lost between those two. In previous championships, they've had so many comings together. They need to be careful. Carl Smith is on the back of Bill Campion. There's Bill Campion in the 99. Carl Smith's in the number 25. And George is behind it. Carl's going to go up the inside. He needs to keep this absolutely powered. Bill Campion leaves one car's width. A little bit of a tough there. Carl Smith rolling up all over the road. Left, right, left, right. Holds it just enough through the right-hander. Andy Foster is joining the battle as well, but doesn't want to put it on two wheels. Bill Campion's gone wide. Carl Smith has gone up the inside, says thank you very much. George in the 22 has gone up the white 99 of Bill Campion. Done it. And finally, the Bullen's got past as well. Right, Trebek is now attacking the back of Butcher. So Stu Neal has now gone from 2nd all the way down to 4th. He's really struggling in that Cupra in the second half of the season. So it's a real shame. He has got pace, but he just doesn't have it tonight. Trebek has once again found himself in 3rd position and once again found him stuck behind a driver. Butcher's going to... Butcher let him go there. I reckon Butcher just went, it's not my fight. I'm not fighting you, Trebek. I'm fighting Neal. Neal's the man he's fighting in the championship. That's who he needs to pay attention to. Trebek is nowhere near to cause any difference as George has spent more time on 2 wheels than he has on 4. Absolutely magnetic. There he is in 5th position. He gets the 2-wheel racer of the day. Jean Petra is still stuck behind in 7th position. Stu Neal's on the back of Butcher. Well, he's on the back. He's side by side with Butcher. He's so close. He can smell the fumes out of the exhaust. He hasn't done it. Jean Petra's going to the right of Markham. Markham blocks it up. Markham's going to go around the outside of George. George is going to try and hang it as best as he can. Markham just doesn't get the overlap that he needs, but will he get the car stopped? Does he go for a brake manoeuvre? It's 3 wide into this turn. 2 wide, 1 wide. Absolute sensational through the right-hander of Club Corner. Needs to hold on to it. This from 5th to 9th is separated by less than 4 seconds. The front tyre field is separated by less than 6. It's absolutely all to play for. Podiflack has now joined the group. He's at the back. There's Podiflack riding on board with him. He's attacking 7th, 6th, 5th and 4th. because George is the cork in the bottle. There he is in the number 11. Aaron Markham goes up the inside. They can't afford those two. John Petra is going to mug the lots of them. And he does. Jean Petra's just checked himself out. They've gone into the side of each other. They're still going into the side of each other. It's all kicking off in race 3. It is race 3 carnage. It's like they don't have to worry about mending the cars. Absolute touring car chaotic, as always. Always happens in race 3, happens in real life, happens in sim racing. Aaron Markham, I think Aaron Markham either has broken the car or he's returned the positions. I think he's returned the positions. I think that's what he was doing. He's returned the positions to the drivers. It's the right move to do. You've got to be careful. Just return it, move on. So this is now Jean Petra's opportunity with 8 minutes to go to see if he can actually take the race victory. This is going to be something special. It's going to be tough because Poddy Flag, who's right behind him, riding on the rear camera now of Jean Petra, he's in 5th position. In 6th position for 31. That's the little Alfa Romeo. And behind that is George. And George has spent more times, like I said, on 2 wheels than he has on 4. If he kept it on the track, he'd probably be winning this by now, but that's how it is sometimes in racing. Sometimes you have a good day, sometimes you have a bad day. He's just got to keep going until he can go no further. At the moment, Butcher has had a slow down penalty. Is that going to hinder him? I don't think it is. Stu Neal is all over his rear end. Mike Bullen is attacking the back of Carl Smith. I say he's attacking the back of Carl Smith. He's side by side with Carl Smith. Bullen's on the left in the 88. That's the blue Honda car. The Audi, the 25, the one we're following on screen. That is Carl Smith. Bullen should go up the inside. This should be an easily job done. Check himself out. And he gets that done once and for all. Right, Stu Neal is on the back of Butcher. These two have no love lost. It's the Apex Predator versus, I don't know what team he's in. He's in whatever team that is, the RC Racing. As we're riding on board now with Butcher, and you can see here, Butcher's just not, he's got the car stopped and rotated. Both Stu Neal and Butcher are going to be wanting as much of this as possible. They've got nearly 1/3 to go, with 2/3 now gone, so it's going to be all to play for into the final sections of the season. Shaw's User is on at 1.1 second. He's lapping on a 1:03.7. Aaron Markham currently holds the fastest lap at the moment. Stu Neal and Butcher. Stu Neal's gone for it. Stu Neal's gone for it. He's gone up the inside. He's thought better of it. Butcher leaves just enough room. But Stu Neal just doesn't have the confidence in the second half of the season that we've seen in the early half. He tries to sell him a dummy, doesn't dummy him enough. Butcher just holds his line, holds station. And once again, it's reset, riding on board again with Jean Petra. He's just not doing a lot. George is on the back. Bill Campion is on the back of Andy Foster. These two are battling each other. Andy Foster's in 16th position. Bill Campion is in 17th position. It's Astra versus Seat. It's a Seat. It's definitely a Seat. Those two are fighting each other. I think Andy Foster has got that done. Started 16th, holds on to 16th, and he's not far off Carl Smith. He's actually lapping faster than Carl Smith. The battle for 11th and 12th. This is Rob Self versus Manuel. Manuel is in 12th position, riding on board with him now. Right, Stu Neal is on the back of Butcher again. So we're riding from the rear camera here. He's got so much more overspeed. Butcher there has just put his car perfectly in the right place, the middle of the road. And he's going, if you want to go for it, Stu, you've got to go the long way round this racetrack. I am not going to let you go, let you overtake me. He's allowed him up the inside, but he thinks better of it. I think Stu Neal here, riding on board with Neal. He's going to go for the left, go for the right, go for the switchback. He's got a much better traction coming out the final corner. Through the right-hander we go. Less than 5 minutes. He's got to get this done because Jean Petra is breathing down his neck. He's absolutely pushing all he can do as we ride on board now with Jean Petra. He's down in 5th position and he's gaining, but he just doesn't want to gain too much because he's going to end up. Butcher slams the brakes on hard. Into the right-hander he goes. Stu Neal, right behind there, he just doesn't have the traction. He does not have the traction that the Astra has. You can see it, he just gaps him. As we go through this section, he's just gapping him bit by bit. Right, T-Joke is side by side with Boki. Boki's on the left. Don't forget, Boki started basically front row, but he didn't. Boki's on the left, T-Joke's on the right. Right, Trebek's on the back of Yusa. We'll keep an eye as that unfolds as well. I see he's on the back of Yusa. He's going to try and attempt an overtake up the inside. These two are teammates. They both drive under the Trip 6 Motorsport banner. So they don't really want to punt themselves off here. This is going to be the problem, is that they don't really want to punt each other off, because if they do, it's going to cause all sorts of problems. And they both want to win. They both want that race victory at the moment. George is right on the back of Aaron Markham. Aaron Markham's just been stuck in 7th position. He hasn't really made any progress as they're all squabbling around at the front. Trebek and Butcher are still close together, but Jean Petra now has kept Stu Neal occupied in 3rd position. So Stu Neal is in 4th position. Butcher's in 3rd, and Trebek is now on the back of Shaw's Yusa. As we see here, he's so close. He wants to go for that final race victory of the season. He's going to go around the outside. Shaw's Yusa is just going to block him cold and hard through there. He's not going to let him through. He's tried to go for the better run. Shaw's Yusa, don't forget, has championship ballast on board, which is a lot more than Trebek. Trebek's going to hold the inside. Trebek should get this done. A little bit of a tinky-winky widge there, but nothing in toward. They're still side by side going down the Hamilton Straight. Absolutely magnetic stuff. It's going to be Trebek. Trebek will have the inside. I don't think Shaw's Yusa is going to be able to hold it on the outside. Trebek's had a slow down penalty for Trebek. Trebek's, that's going to cost him dearly. Does Shaw's send it up the inside? He does. He licks a postage stamp and just sent it. But he won't have the inside, crucially, through this section. Through the right-hander, he just hasn't got it done. Aaron Markham's disqualified, so he's out. So he's not going to get himself a race victory at the moment. It's 1:05. It will be 3 more laps, including this one. It's a 14-lap race. Well, I think it will be. We will find out when we cross the finish line, see how far they've got to go. But at the moment, Trebek is leading from Shaw's, and Butcher's just holding on to 3rd. Stu Neal is making progress. Mike Bullen is up to 12th. He is 4 seconds away from a top 10 finish. Stu Neal has got to hold on now from the fast-moving Jean Petra. This is exactly what Trebek needs. What Butcher needs, sorry. Butcher, there he is in 3rd position, because it will be 2 more laps. It will be 2 more laps because it's a 1:07 per lap. And at the moment, they're racing on 1:07.8. So Trebek here is on for... Where's Shaw's Yusa gone? Shaw's Yusa has gone off the track. He's gone off the track. Shaw's Yusa has gone off the track. So Trebek is in for a race victory here. So Shaw's Yusa, I think, has made a mistake. He made a mistake. He crossed the line, and Shaw's Yusa has made a mistake. So Shaw's Yusa now, that's promoted Butcher into 2nd and Neal into 3rd. Jean Petra is down to 4th. Where's Podiflak? Podiflak is now into 4th position as well. So Butcher is on for top 3. So is Stu Neal. That's changed absolutely just like a hair's whisker immediately. It's changed now. The entire game has changed. Right there, last lap to go. Trebek could be on for the final race of the season. Final win of the final race of this season. The question is, can he hold it? Does he make one more mistake? Does something go wrong? As it stands at the moment, Jean Petra does hold the fastest lap, but failing any huge issue or any major problem, it looks like it's going to be game over. Stu Neal, will he go for a lunge there? Podiflak defending hard from Jean Petra. Jean Petra's put it on 2 wheels. He's the Honda, don't forget. Not this one, that one, the 96. Jean Petra put it on 2 wheels and just held on. Right, riding on board now with Butcher. He's going to get mugged here. I get the feeling Stu Neal's going to launch this up the inside. He didn't close the door. He doesn't have the gap. He's not got the overlap. Butcher's going to do all he can do there to hold on to it. He leaves 1 car's width. You can see it. You can actually visually see the car's width there. for Butcher. Butcher's holding off as best he can. Stu Neal just doesn't have the confidence. He's going to run out of road and run out of time. Through the penultimate corner he goes, and Trebek will take the final victory of the season. He's going to be absolutely ecstatic with that. Butcher holds on for second. Stu Neal starts thirds, finished thirds. Brilliant. Poddy Flack is fourth. John Petra is fifth. George is sixth. It's still the best looking car on the field. You still win in my book. T-Joke is seventh. Boki is eighth. Rob South is ninth. 10th is Manuel. Shaw's User, just gutted for him. He's going to go for a full-on crash, I reckon. Yep, full crash. Mike Bulliner comes home in 12th. George is in 14th. Carl Smith is 15th. There you go. And no, he doesn't do it. So Aaron Markham takes the fastest lap, and Trebek is the race winner. So we did not see history being made here tonight, but it's still open for grabs. Only 2 drivers this season have been that close to be making race history. So absolutely sensational final race of the season. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Shame we lost the 2 of the drivers from the pole, but that's how it is sometimes. You can't win them all, as I say. Absolutely sensational from all the drivers. I think it was brilliant. Great end to the season in terms of the drivers. I'm back in the commentary box. We'll see if any drivers pop in for the final commentary stream of the season. But it was a brilliant final round, as always. I thought we were going to see history, but we didn't. Jean Petra did not make TCRS Hill history. So it's still open for grabs. Season 6 didn't see any 3 race winners. The same driver win 3 times. So it's still open. It's still there to be grabbed. It's going to be very interesting to see. We'll give it 5 minutes, see if anybody pops in. If not, we will end the stream there for the season. If you are wondering, you're thinking, I would like to come and join TCRSL, get yourself involved. Find us on Facebook. You can find us on LinkedIn. No, we're not on LinkedIn. That's something completely different. We are on a different channel as well, YouTube.
We're on YouTube, that's where we are. So get yourself involved. Season 7 does start soon, and I think there's only about 3 places left in the 32 car grid. There is a couple of reserve spaces as well. All abilities are allowed. They're a great bunch. It is a really good season to be involved in. It's relaxed than other race series, I would say, so please get yourself involved. Right, we're going to go across to the final chats of the season. I'm not sure if Mike, you can hear me. Mike normally walks his dog after this at this moment, so he could be out walking at the moment. Mike, can you hear me?
I can. I haven't left yet, but I'm about to do that.
He hasn't left. Every single time I'm off walking the dog. I've got that. So a couple of things I want to talk to. First of all, that final race of the season, very uneventful, I would say, from your point. Not really made much progress. Was it a case of just, it's the last one, see how it goes?
No, to be honest, I just got caught up in trying to be too ambitious at the start. if I'm totally honest, so what happened? So I had a lightning start. I've had really good starts this season. Look at the grid, which I've been really happy with. So I made 3 positions by turn 3, and then I went to overtake Bill to go onto the hangar straight. Bill went wide, and I don't think he knew I was there, and he came sort of back online, and then we collided. So I ended up about 6 seconds off the back. So then I had to make that time up and then battle back through. So I had to overtake Foster and Palace, Delas, and Bill and somebody else. Anyway, yes. South. So I had to do it all again. But no, South finished ahead of me. But I had to do it all again basically. So I did it and then got knocked off and then I had to do it all again. So just one of those races, mate.
I mean, it's what makes it exciting, though, I think. So, just moving away from obviously the final race and your season as a whole. Obviously, I've not covered it all. Unfortunately, I've only covered bits and pieces of it through the season. But you seem to have really progressed from the. You know, if we go back to when I first commentated on, I think it was race 2 or race 3, and then you were down the bottom. You weren't confident in the brakes. You know. You weren't confident back in that battle in that pack area, and you've slowly progressed as well now. Are you finding yourself? Because I remember before you saying you were having issues with your brake pedal and the feel and the confidence in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, has that come back now? Are you getting more and more confident? Are you feeling all right? Well, next season I can actually go a bit further, or is it a case of I've enjoyed this season, I'm just gonna not think about it too much and just enjoy it again?
Look, yes, that is my attitude. But on the sort of the driving and the brake pedal, so as you may remember, my playseat rig completely fell apart.
Yes.
But what I didn't realise is how much it was flexing. So of course I'm braking and it was flexing. So Poddy kindly provided me with some a load cell. Set of pedals so I could have more feel, because the standard Moser ones are a bit rubbish, and they are so powerful it literally ripped my rig apart, and all, like, it pulled bolts through like the metal, and the metal split open and everything. It was completely ruined. But what I didn't realize is that, and the bit that holds the wheel, was all flexing. So of course when you're trying to put precise inputs into the car, when the actual equipment was flexing, it was making it impossible for that to happen. So a combination of a new rig with a Honda seat, which I think also helps, and it is a Type R seat.
That means it goes faster.
And this load cell pedal, which I'm just sort of getting the hang of now, has really helped me improve. Obviously, getting used to the software again is a big thing, because, like I said before, 2 years on ACC, it's a very different animal. So, and I am racing also on ACC as well at the same time. So I've been practicing transitioning between the two, and I'm finding it fine. Now I've got the equipment to do that. So yes, it was a combination of a few things, but the confidence through the season has come back. I've enjoyed the racing for the most part. My frustrations with this are nothing to do with the league or the organisers or the drivers. It's all to do with the software, and I just think Race Room could do stuff to make it better.
Yeah, I mean, the software itself, it's a tough decision for Race Room in terms of what they do and what they don't do, because of course you play ACC a lot now, but it's open source and it's now there's lots of cheating going on. From a thing that, I don't know if you've seen it, but I was reading an article on it, I think this week, and the amount of mods, because it's open source, there's so many mods in it, and there's so many, and it's kind of going on.
No,
and
that's standard set of course. That is not a set of course of competition.
And Race Room, I think the thing with Race Room, I think it's one of those ones it's an accessible start. And,
no, absolutely. Look,
and I think
there's nothing wrong with the. There's nothing wrong with the physics. The way the game feels is fine.
It's a bit old. I give it. It's a bit old.
But I don't drive it and think, oh my god, this feels like I'm driving Gran Turismo or something. It like I say, it's fine. It allows good close racing. It allows good feel through the steering wheel. It's not bad. It's certainly more advanced than R Factor, which is even older again. R Factor physics wise is probably better, but the overall feel of Race Room I think is better. But anyway, my point being, all they need to do is sort out this blooming point system, because this point system just doesn't work. As like Aaron got disqualified in that last race because the driver hit him from behind in close quarters 5 times in 5 laps. And that was, with Aaron also, making a few mistakes, because all drivers do, is exactly the same as being race 1. You get disqualified through no fault of your own. And I think it's just a point Race Room just could do with working on. But like you say, are they going to plough any time and money into it now? Probably not.
No, I don't. To be perfectly honest, I don't think they'll ever fix that. I think that'll just be something that's in the game. Because the way their model works, from what I understand, is that their model is basically selling content, and it's a bit like the broadcasting software. Is that the broadcasting software in ACC originally was rubbish, and then it's got a lot better, and now they've got instant replays and all this other stuff on its own software. It can pull it. Race Room can do it. So I was talking to a friend of mine's partner's dad, who's an engineer, like he does computers and stuff, and he says, yeah, you can pull all that information from Race Room. It can do it. But you'd have to build a custom software to do it, and I can't get into the Race Room. Won't allow us into it to pull it. So there's a lot they could do, I think, just to make the overall show better. But I don't think that's on their model, because I don't think they've got a big design team. But
no, I get your point totally. Like I say, it makes it difficult because you're trying to race in the midfield, you're trying to race in close quarters, and like I say, if somebody behind you decides to tap you 4 or 5 corners in a row, that's 20 points out of the 30 gone. You go off track a couple of times and make the odd mistake yourself, and your race is over through no fault of your own. And I think it's just a system that just doesn't work properly. And it's always been the same. Like I said, I've just got a gripe with it tonight, so I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, because when it works in your favour, it's the best thing ever invented. And when it works the other way, it's the worst thing ever invented.
You know, like genuinely, as somebody who was, as you know, has run these leagues and tried all sorts of different things, for me, it doesn't work. But it's the best we got.
Yeah.
So got to put up with it. But like I said, I just find it immensely frustrating that you can completely have a race meet ruined through no fault of your own. It should be designed to encourage close, hard, fair racing, and it doesn't do that, because if you touch somebody, bumper to bumper, it gives you points, and half the time those points are not your fault. So anyway,
it's one of those.
Onwards and upwards.
It's one of those, really. I think you can either love it or loathe it, but it's going to stay. I think that's ultimately what it is, and I think it comes down to...
absolutely.
It's one of those, isn't it?
Like I say, I think it's a race room problem, and like I say, I'm not suggesting it's the league's problem or the organisers' problem or issue or anything of the sort. It's a race room issue. But anyway, before I shoot off, because you've got other people who want to speak to on the show, I just want to say congratulations on a great season to everybody, and thanks to you for the comments as well.
No worry. Well, hopefully I'll see you next season. We will find out. Right. A bit off track. So I think we've got Russ and Carl Smith in the commentary box with me as well. So I'm going to go across to Carl, and then I'm going to finish with yourself, Russ. Obviously, as the organiser, I want to finish with you last. So, Carl, can you hear me?
Can, mate. How you doing?
Not too bad. First question: next year, are you going to be driving the yellow DHL Audi? Because that's the best looking car on the field. It just is, except for the Lincoln Co.
I'm not too sure yet. I hadn't really decided on what car I'm going to go with. I was thinking maybe just going with the Alpha. I tried that in Crest a couple of seasons ago, I think, and I quite like the car, but I just didn't have to pace in it. So I think now that I'm more focused on practicing before the races, I might try something different. You never know, though. I might, I might go back to the Audi. I haven't even tried the Alpha yet, so we'll see.
So I just want to talk through, obviously, your whole season as a whole. Yeah. Obviously, through the start of the season, because I think I commentated on you in Crest as well, I think.
Yeah.
And but you've really progressed through, especially through this season. Is that just because you've got, as you alluded to there, have you just had more seat time than you had before, or is it a case you've just settled down, or more different equipment?
Yeah, no, just more seat time. Really, a couple of tips and tricks from Russ and things like in terms of approaching certain corners at certain tracks, but and breaking points. But I think for the most part, a lot of it's just seat time, just repetitions and mother of skill and all that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And I might have got more used to my wheel as well, because last time I was in Crest, I'd only just got the wheel.
Yeah.
And adapting from the control pad to the wheel, it took a bit of time, and I was quite a bit slower initially with the wheel than what I was with the pad, and that was a little bit demoralising. So, but yeah, once you knuckle down, I think the improvements come. with the time that you put into it.
So this season, I mean, you've been in constant battling with, I think it's Bill, Derek Neal, and there's somebody else, and you three were just stuck like glue you've been stuck like glue for the entire season, basically.
Yeah. It's been great.
So for next season, I'm presuming you're joining us next season. I haven't checked. I'm going to take the assumption you are joining us for next season, in terms of that. What was your favourite track then? Because obviously I haven't had a chance to talk to you that much, in terms of what you've got, and and you're racing today as well. It looked like you had good qualifying this season as well, in terms of this race. I mean, you've improved your qualifying as well. I think you're now within 7% of. I'd have to check my numbers. I only check them about. I'm that sad. I do check this stuff. You're around 7% now. You've actually increased that or decreased that gap. Are you treating qualifying different now as well?
I'm using more time in qualifying. So normally before I'd just do maybe a few laps. Mostly it's just down to the hassle trying to find a space on the track, and I'm not very good qualifying close to other cars. So I prefer an open track. So if I can get my lap in, like within the first handful of laps, and that was good for me back then. But now I'm just more focused on, finishing in front of my competitors or something like that. Because I've realised with the practice I might be a little bit more competitive. So
is that something you're going to look at to change or do more of next season, or is it a case of I'll just keep what I'm doing because I don't want to do too much because then I won't enjoy it as much, or is it a case of when you can get some seat time, just get in the seat basically?
No, I'm doing it quite a lot. So I think Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, sometimes Fridays. I'll get at least an hour of seat time. It varies. It depends what I'm doing on the evening, but I've definitely allocated more of my free time to practicing for the league events now.
So, looking forward to next season, are there any tracks that you're specifically, you're like, I'd like to see them on the roster?
You know what? I actually really enjoyed Slovakia-ing, I think it was, when we did that earlier on in the season. So I'd like to do that one again at some point. That's probably one of my favourite tracks, because when I first started on that, I hated it. It was one of the first tracks that I put a lot of practice in. And then obviously I saw my own developments over time, over a couple of weeks, and I grew to love the track, and I think it's really good, really technical. A few corners, we've got different ways that you can approach them. And I just really enjoyed it.
Well, thank you very much for joining us for the season. I do actually have a curfew, which I'm going to run over in a minute, so I would like to talk to Russ before I have to go. I have to say really well. It's been a pleasure commentating on you as well as everybody through the season. I'm just hoping you have the yellow DHL Audi. That's all I'm saying.
We'll see. Thanks, mate. Thanks for all the commentary as well.
No problem.
Really enjoyed listening and watching back, and congratulations to everyone else that's been racing. Everyone's been great. So hopefully see a lot of them next season as well.
I think from what I've seen, the sign up is pretty much full already. I think there's about 2 spaces left. So, but
pick the car.
It's good. I think it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be another brilliant season, I think. But that's what I think anyway. So, but thank you, Carl. Right, over to Russ finally. Russ, can you hear me?
Hello, mate. I can, buddy.
Right,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Right, 2 things I want to start off with. One, I want to talk about obviously race 3 with your old buddy Stu Neal. And then I want to talk a bit generally about the league and stuff first. So, race 3. I want to talk about race 3. If you watch the commentary back, and as you've known from my previous commentary, you and Mr. Neal have previous. Shall I say? He's probably going to watch this, and I don't.
That was a long time ago, Andy. We're the best of friends now, don't you know?
No.
But no, we've had, we talk privately, and from a long time ago, I think that's all finished with now. But we do race hard with each other on track, and no quarter will be given. I know Stu will be exactly the same, but we enjoy it, and as long as neither one of us oversteps the mark, which we try not to, then we really enjoy it, and yeah, as far as I'm aware, we get on fine. So race 3 was brilliant. He was probably quicker than me. I'll give him that. He was quicker than me. I was kind of willing John Petra to hurry up and catch him up, so he'd have to look at his mirrors rather than looking at me. But no, a couple of times he had a run, and he had a run on the final lap, and I thought, oh, he's got it here, and he kind of checked back, and I was like, oh wow, great, okay, because I knew the Astra was quite good on the brakes into the final chicane, but it wasn't necessarily quick through it. But I knew if I could get to the chicane and stay in front of him on the brakes, then I'd kind of try and block him off on the run to the line. But yeah, no, race 3 was really good fun.
And the other thing I want to push on race 3, because you've pretty much covered everything there, but in race 3 as well, you must have been, as I think I alluded to in comedy, licking your chops when Shaw's User just disappeared. I think he ran wide into turn 1. Because all I saw was...
It was out of Stowe. I think he caught Trebek out of Stowe. Or Trebek caught the front of Shaw's out of Stowe, and Shaw's went stage right into the wall.
Okay. That would explain it.
Kind of doesn't make me feel any better, because I think it was my fault that Shaw's also rolled it in race 1, so I do have to hold my hands up and apologise for that. But I thought he was a lot further. Well, I thought he was too far back to have a lunge on the brakes, but apparently clearly not in the Cupra, because he just appeared on the inside, and I'd already sort of committed myself to turn in, and I ran him over the sausage curb, and he rolled it in the mirror behind me. So I have already apologised to him for that, by the way. I don't know if you caught that on stream or not.
No, I did catch
apologise.
I did catch a few cars on 2 wheels or on their roof, but not that one. But that would explain why Shaw's User disappeared in race 3.
Race 3 and race 1.
Race 3 and race 1 would explain that situation. But again, you must be really happy with that result. You've had a race victory, haven't you? I need to catch up.
Not this season's the first season I've not had a race victory. No.
But again, you must be super happy with a second place finish.
I've had 2 seconds, and I think I've had about 3 thirds. A lot of that I'll have to say thanks to the reverse grid draw. So well done, Andy, for that. But yeah, race 3 just seems to suit me, and it always, because I'm never right at the front in races 1 and 2, I'm always sort of somewhere near the front come race 3, and it just seems to work for me. That's all.
But it's a good format with a big field. It's got the right split in it, I think, in terms of where we are.
Like you say, it's getting the right split. I think a couple of weeks ago we had, I think it was Interlagos. I don't think you were commentating on it.
I wasn't on that one.
But we had a couple of guys that probably should have finished higher than they did through accidents or whatever, and the split was wrong. So it might be something I might have to have a little look at in terms of people's overall finishing positions, and then maybe revert it a bit there, because we did have some cars at the front of the race 3 at Interlagos. Not that they were slow, but there was a lot of cars that were quicker trying to come through, and it did cause a bit of carnage. And to be fair, that was the one night that we had the most incidents for. So going forward, we might have to look at that and possibly reshaping it slightly in a different way if we have a lot of the pro drivers that do miss out on a finish or an accident or whatever reason. It might be we have to change that slightly.
But then it's 1 out of 9 realistically.
So it's 1 out of 9 races, so yeah, can't really be too disappointed with
on that one realistically.
No.
So obviously moving away from that now, going to the bigger league thing, I just really want to finish. I think overall, everyone would say hats off. It's been a huge success in terms of season 6 coming back in Tcsrl. You've done a fantastic job, and I've seen a lot of the comments and stuff of people doing it. Obviously now moving forward to season 7, because that's where we're going next in terms of that.
Yes.
Any hints of where we think we'll be racing?
There is a track list up on SR Leagues already.
Ooh.
There is a couple of new tracks. There is a couple of tracks that we've been to before, and the sprint feature race track will be very interesting, I think.
So the sprint feature is coming back.
The sprint feature will be back. Yes, that will be round. Obviously, because we're trying to cut the season before Christmas and New Year, so that people aren't here, there, and everywhere, and not on the grid. We're only doing 7 rounds in season 7. The sprint feature will be round 4, so the midway point, basically.
Oh, brilliant! I'll have to get on SR Leagues and have a look. Which one it is? I don't know what it is, and have a look. I don't know if it's listed.
It might be an interesting. There might be quite a few people that have never raced it. It's a very interesting one. Swedish, I believe.
I will go and have a look. Well, I don't know. I have to register first. I don't think I'm on it, but I'll find out where it is. Well, that's really, really good. Same car next season for yourself, or you're looking at changing?
You know me, mate. I always like to run whatever somebody else isn't. So we shall see. Currently, there is nobody signed up in the Astra, so I don't think it's too bad an idea to run the Astra. Craig might tell me something different. But yeah, we shall see. He did have a run in the Leon last night because he couldn't make it tonight. He had a quick run in the Leon, which is a car that he quite enjoys using along with the Elantra. And he didn't like it as much as he thought he did compared to the Astra. So we might stay in the Astra next season. We might not.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what Craig says. If Craig says no, then it's a no.
No, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Anything else you want to add? Because I am actually now over my curve. I'm over my time. Anything else you want to add? One final
Can't
thought?
keep you hanging on too long then.
No, not like the old days when I'd be here for 3 hours. Any final thought you want to leave everybody with before we close off at the end of what I think was a sensational season?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I want to thank you again for your commentary. I know you haven't been able to do it all season, but when you have managed to do it and took your time to do it, it's been absolutely fantastic. So on behalf of me and all the drivers, because we all go back and watch it several times, thank you very much.
That helps my view count.
Yes, definitely, especially if we watch it in different locations, everybody. So when you go round your mum's, put it on the telly.
No, thank you. And I'm hoping next season I should have some better features than what I've had. I've just bodged it for this season, so
lovely.
Let's get it in. So anything else?
I want to thank all the returning drivers from the Tcsrl that used to race. Some of them have moved on to different platforms, or race or not given up racing, but a lot of them came back for this because basically I wouldn't stop pestering them till they did. So thank you to all them. Thank you to all the new drivers who have come in and have been brilliant. They've stepped up straight away, got into it, and hopefully everyone goes away after every Wednesday night and has really enjoyed it. I hope they've enjoyed the season. A lot of them have re-signed already for next season, which is brilliant, so thank you very much. If any of the current Season 7 drivers do want to sign up for next season, I have held some spaces back for them if they've not signed up already. If they could just let me know either by signing up or by messaging me, that would be great. And I hope to see everybody next season.
Cool. Well, thank you. No doubt I'll talk to you in the off season, and then I will be back for the new season. Thank you for joining me through the chats that we've had. Again, for yourself, Carl, you're always welcome to come and join, and anybody else that wants to come and chat. If you get bored of driving, you're more than welcome to come and join me in the commentary box.
I was quite surprised that Russ Edwards didn't throw his hat into the ring to join in the commentary box tonight, to be fair, since he's broke his steering wheel.
But he's busy watching at home.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah, good lad.
He's chatting on here, so he's busy at watching at home.
Oh, good. I'm glad he's doing something productive with his evening.
Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you for
Andy.
a great season. I'm already looking forward to next season. And enjoy the rest of your evenings.
Andy, can I just say as well, sorry, I completely forgot. Congratulations to our 2 champions, Gregor Hujek and Onjena Palic. Our pro and our drivers and pro champion Gregor, and our AM champion Onjena Palic. Really well done, boys. I am currently trying to update the tables as quickly as possible so that everybody knows where they've finished. So, Pro Championship, we've got Hujek, Shorjusa, and then Stu Neal.
Mm-hmm.
And in the AM Championship, we have got Palic, Prieto, and Obradovic as the top three.
Oh, nice.
I am just trying to do the main championship, but I don't think that's going to change. So the main championship again is Hujek, User, and Stu Neal. So really well done to them guys.
Brilliant. Well, there we go. If anyone's still watching, you've just heard it live on stream. So, right, I can leave it there. Yeah, leave it there. Thank you very much for joining me for the bits that I commentate on it. You're more than welcome to join me next season, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too, Andy.
Cheers. Thanks, Carl. Thanks, Russ. And that's it. That's where we end the season for season 7. We're done. So I will be back for season 6. Sorry, I'll be back for season 7. If you haven't already, find us on Facebook. Find us on Discord. You can't miss us. Tcsrl. Come and watch some of the old streams as well. They are really good fun. Thank you everybody for joining me. It's been a real pleasure. And enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy the rest of your off season.